Hey everyone, how are y'all? Frank, how are you? It's good to see all of y'all. I've missed everyone these past several days. All right, y'all don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way in and put your chat on live chat. Cats meow, how are you? Sally Mae, how are you? Hey Sarah Beth, how are you tonight? And yes, I am starting to feel better. I'm not at 100% yet, but I do feel a lot better than what I did a few days ago. Princess Megan, how are you? True Crime Crazy, how are you? Okay, so I got the email pinned to the top of the chat if anyone needs to send anything to me. Linda G, how are you? Thank you, Sarah Beth. All right, y'all, I got to get caught up on everything. I know there's the Madeline Soto case out there. Elsie, how are you? And thank you. Uh, the Sebastian Rogers case, I don't think there's really been anything in the Elijah Vu case that I've seen. I've tried to keep up with what I could while I was sick. Oh, Betty, tell her hi and that I said have a good night. Lady V, you even missed Nightbot. I can't believe he was actually working tonight and wasn't slacking. And you might hear me mute from time to time, and that's just because I'm still coughing, and it sometimes can be pretty bad. So I'll have to mute till I get over it. So if I do that, y'all know what's up. And I'm trying to get everything. I feel like I've been gone so long that I'm just not organized. I'm trying to get everything situated back. Lady V, how are you?
Oh, hang on, hon. I got.
Okay.
There we go. Hello.
All right. How are you?
I'm about like you.
Still not
You and I
100%.
Oh God, no. I don't foresee going back to work for another at least 3 or 4 days.
Well, I finally, like yesterday, I think was like the first day that I could actually get up out the bed and move
Yeah.
around. And Betty Joe, yes, the coughing is the worst part.
Yeah.
In my ribs and chest has been killing me from the coughing. Don F, thank you. I've missed all of you as well. Um, I still haven't gotten completely rid of the cough, and they've got me still on that inhaler, which is supposed to like help break all that stuff up, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Uh-uh. My aunt, she ordered me some sort of medicine supposed to come today, but no, I can't lay in the bed like that. I just get my
Oh, I
body
was
hurts
so
too bad.
uncomfortable. I could not lay flat. I couldn't sit completely up. I had to finally just build some pillows up to where I was kind of elevated at a slant.
And then your underwear run up into your butt crack.
It's very uncomfortable, I can tell
It
you.
is.
Very uncomfortable.
But so I've just been up here in my salon, just like doing much nothing but sitting here, just going into places on YouTube I haven't been in forever.
Well, today is the first time I've actually sit at my computer since I've been sick. I did get up a few days ago when we had a storm and unplugged my, because I have it hardwired and it was lightning real bad. So I did get up and unplug that and just went right back to bed.
Oh yeah, I think if it would have been a tornado come through, I don't think I would have cared.
I wouldn't have. Hey, K Brace, how are you?
I keep waiting to break a rib.
Yeah, and mine was so bad. The coughing was that I would lose my breath.
Mm-hmm.
Meta
Me
Mom,
too.
how are you? Dan Davis says he was ready to call the cops for a welfare check on me.
Everybody was. At least they were seeing me every once in a while. I was trying to pop in here and there.
Yeah, I didn't even get on Discord. I felt bad because I didn't even make a community post about being sick and all that. I had no energy to do anything. And Sarah, I had to eventually break down. My husband just kept on with me about going to the emergency room because he was afraid that I had pneumonia. And it turned out to be bronchitis. And I did not know that bronchitis was like the start of pneumonia.
Oh yeah,
And
it's bad.
they was like, if you wouldn't have came in, that's what it would have turned into. It would have been
Yeah.
pneumonia. It would have been a lot worse.
If
Um,
if I'm not better here pretty quick, my husband's been pushing me on that too.
yeah, you probably need to go. I didn't want to go. I hate going to the hospital, but
I just
uh,
don't feel like going. It's like I don't feel well enough to go.
I hate going to the emergency room. Okay, so Metamom, I've heard some things about Madeline. I do know that she was found deceased. I did see that. Um, no, I take that back. I think I was in Discord that day that they found her body and was talking with some people in there about that. Uh, I I know about her stepdad being arrested. I know that they have not charged anyone yet with her death. Um, from what I've read and just stuff that I've tried to get caught up with today on the case, um, and I still haven't found the his arrest affidavit yet, but there I've seen people that's posted screenshots of it. Hey, Tech Death, how are you? Um, that the stuff that was found on his phone had to do with Madeline, and they didn't name her, but they said that the victim's birthday. I forgot what it said the birthday was, but it turned out to be her birthday. Um, and this was going on since like 2022 when she was 11 years old. And
Yeah,
hey, just Don, how are you? I just don't know. And I hate so bad to say this, but I'm gonna be honest. I just don't know how the mom didn't know.
no, I
I
I
just
don't either.
I really don't, and I know that it's like early to blame her, but I just don't see how she didn't know.
Something's off with her.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't read. I gotta find it. I don't know. It's disgusting. I've only read like the first page because someone had posted, like I said, the screenshot of it. I haven't got to read the rest of it. I know it's probably disgusting, and I probably don't want to read it, but I feel like that I need to read it to be able to.
Oh, you have to read it
to get caught up, on everything with it.
Yeah, you need to read it.
And what was crazy, somebody on Twitter had posted where the mom had done an interview before her boyfriend got arrested, and he's literally walking back and forth behind her. And at one point, he's just standing there behind her, like off to the side a little bit, but behind her while she's doing this interview. And then I seen another video where him and her had done an interview, and he's sitting there crying his eyes out, telling me he don't know where she's at. He's scared. He wants her back home. And the mom is sitting there comforting him. And I'm sitting there thinking, shouldn't you be up? Like, you did this to this girl. And you know that you did this to her. You know where she's at. Her mama is, at some points I've seen her crying. I don't.
Oh, you did? I've never really did.
It was like you could tell she had been crying, and I just don't.
I disagree.
The video that he was standing behind her, I didn't see any emotions in her face, and this is before they found her, like before he was even arrested. I didn't see any emotions on her face at all. Madeline was reported missing on the 26th of February. He was arrested on the 28th. So it was between those 2 dates that the mom did this interview, and there was no emotion.
And she's not like, she's staring up at the ceiling. She's not even accessing memories. Because when she accessed memories, when he asked her what she was wearing, she actually accessed her memory, and it was in a completely different spot than when she was trying. It's like she was reading a script to herself from her head, It's like, okay, I was going to say that. It reminded me so much of Sarah Boone. It's like, okay, now I got interrupted. Let me start back where I left off because I can only go through this like that. I don't. Yeah. I didn't see any fear in her from the guy either.
Even when she was standing beside of him and he was like wiping the crocodile tears out of his eyes, and she was sitting there rubbing on his shoulders and comforting him and all this and that, and she at that point she didn't really look like she was upset at that time, but it did look like she had been crying at some point. And I'm just not seeing that emotion on her face of her 13-year-old daughter missing.
She never once has mentioned her name. Not once.
I mean, if you think about it, that kind of makes a person think that she knows something about it. Because let me see if I did the screenshot of that one thing on the PCA, because she says, no, I didn't, but she says something like that she was running late, so she called the boyfriend and he picked her up from the house. So where was he at?
At his place, because they broke up.
Okay.
But the boyfriend didn't have tears. He didn't shed one single tear. He rubbed his eyes, made his eyes red, but he did not have a single tear.
I'm sorry, but if I'm running late for work, I'm not going to call my ex-boyfriend to come pick my child up. My child will just have to be late for school too. And that way I'm taking her. I know that she's getting there.
Especially if you're broken up.
Right. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I know that it's early to say that she knew. I just don't see how she didn't know that was going on between him and the
to the really graphic part of the warrant?
No, the only thing that I was able to read was just the first page where it says that what was found on his phone and what he was charged with. And then it says about that the mom went to the school. It was at like 4:30 that afternoon to pick her up, and she was informed that she didn't come to school that day, which also did not make sense because if she went to the school at 4:30, okay, let's just say she didn't know anything about what had happened. So she goes to the school at 4:30 to pick Madeline up, and they tell her she did not come to school that day. Why are you waiting until 8 o'clock that night, 3.5 hours later, to report your child missing? You should have had enough time to go home, make sure that she was not home, call her friends, call family, make sure that she is not with them, and report her missing within an hour to an
Five
hour and a
minutes.
half late, at the most,
Oh
an hour and a
shoot!
half.
I would have called like
Well, I would have too, but
immediately.
I don't know, and I'm only saying an hour and a half at the latest because I don't know how far they live from the school or what the traffic's like or anything like that. But 3.5 hours later is not making any sense.
Mm-mm. And they
It's really
did live together, Linda, but they broke up. And his mom is in like real estate and stuff, so he has a different place. At this time, he had a different place.
yeah. But what they found on his phone was the law enforcement did determine that those videos and pictures were taken inside of what I'm understanding was the mom's house when he lived there with her. Is what
Yeah.
I got.
And Margaret's right. She didn't even describe the clothes that she actually had on.
And then the
It
law
still has her.
enforcement,
Okay, I don't know if he like is still like living there, but my understanding was he was someplace else and had to go there to pick her up because they
yep,
had broken up. I don't know. It's all still like kind of iffy.
yeah, because that's what it said in the first page that I had, or well, I'll have to see if I can find it. But she says that she was running late, so she called him, and he came and picked Madeline up and took her to school. He tells police that he dropped her off in front of the preschool, which was just like down the street from the school, and that he dropped her off at 8:40, but yet classes didn't start until 9:30. And then she is seen in the car. Police believe she's deceased at that time, but then he says in an interview that she was sleeping in the car.
Yeah, she slept. She slept most of the way there.
So
Right.
it's
Like, I mean, I'm sorry. School can't be more than 30 minutes away.
true. So I don't know. This case is it's I thought it would, once they found her, then there would be charges that would be brought forth on
Well,
him, but they
I,
still haven't charged anybody.
I don't think he'll go to the court or whatever. I mean, the other day they reported he wouldn't go.
Yeah, he
I
didn't
mean,
go to his. I
uh,
think it was like the first court appearance that he was
yeah,
supposed
it's
to
like
have, and he
Chad
didn't go.
Dorman, stress
Hmm.
him up, take him in there, and make him go.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that they would have by now because she was found. What was it? I did find a timeline because y'all know me and I'm like all about
Oh,
timelines,
yeah.
and because I haven't been able to keep up with this case as much as I would like to, I was able to find a timeline, and I believe it was they found her body March the 1st in the wooded area. Hey, Jelly Bean, how are you? And I just, he was already in jail. I thought that, they would have had 7 days later charges in her death.
Yeah, you would think so.
Wait, King Scarlet, somebody sent you the picture that, because that's what I was about to say a minute ago. That law enforcement
They sent you the
posted.
picture that was leaked.
That's what I was wondering. She said, yes,
Holy
someone sent me
moly.
that picture because law enforcement allegedly accidentally posted the picture.
Yeah.
Um,
On his
it,
private account.
yeah, and now, okay, I did see another YouTuber tonight that was live talking about Madeline's case. I'm not going to say who it is, um, but uh, they had as their thumbnail a picture with a blurred out spot. I guess trying to make it because I haven't seen the picture, um, but they were passing it off as being the leaked picture of her body, and they had that little area blurred out,
Yeah,
like her
I
body.
I just asked King Scarlet to send it to me because I saw that one too. I wanted to see if it was the
I'm
same
wondering,
thing.
and honestly, and like I said, I'm not gonna say who it is. It won't surprise me if that's the picture. It really won't. Um. Oh God, King Scarlet, that is people just. I mean, it's a crime scene photo of a dead child. Why screenshot it and send it to people? I just Sarah Beth, it was a picture, a crime scene picture of where they found Madeline at.
Well, it wasn't just that, it was a picture of her,
Yes, and it
is my
showed.
understanding. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Well, I did see where when I was reading an article earlier that there was another sheriff that had confirmed that it did have her body in the picture. I mean, I don't understand why somebody, if they see it, just be like, that was leaked, and just leave it alone. Don't even do a screenshot of it. That makes absolutely no sense. And then if another creator, if that is the picture, another creator goes and puts it as their thumbnail, that's disgusting in my book.
She put it as a thumbnail.
I think it was a thumbnail because whenever I was scrolling through Facebook, or YouTube earlier, I saw it on there and it had Madeline Soto's name on it. So
Oh wow.
because I haven't seen the picture, I don't know
Well,
if
that's why I asked King Scarlet to send it to me. I
yeah.
wanted to.
So I don't know if it is the picture, but even if it's not, and you're trying to depict it as that picture, um, then that's still disgusting too. Michelle, I don't know because the part of the picture, there was a part of it that was blurred out. Oh shit! Hold on. And there was something else that I was gonna mention, and now I can't remember what it was. That had to do with this case.
Well, Jellybean, if they like blur out that part of it, then there's nothing that YouTube can do about it.
No, because on that it doesn't show. It just shows the blurred out spot, but it's got a red circle around it. So, is that your Discord or was that mine?
What?
I
My
just heard it.
uh, it, no, it was not Discord. It was something else on my watch.
Okay. Let's see that one. Robin Howington. Is that the one Metamom that she was found guilty for murdering her 5-year-old child? Because I seen something about they had that trial going on. Okay, yeah, I saw that one. I don't know all the details on it. Court TV or Law and Crime, one of the two was covering the that trial, and I saw where she was found guilty. There's so many. It's crazy. There's all these cases of parents hurting kids, and like Madeline's case reminded me of Audrey's case.
Oh gosh, yeah.
how she was
And
how she was supposed to be taken to school and she didn't get taken to school. And I did hear about Audrey's grandparents, I guess, speaking out or doing an interview or
oh, I
something, but
watched that video.
I
Yeah, I
haven't got to
watched
watch
it.
it yet.
It was something else.
Yeah, I've seen several people that were saying that a lot of, like, one person was saying that there was a lot of lies in it and what the grandmother was saying. Somebody else was like upset with it, the stuff that was said in it.
Oh
Uh,
well, yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, okay, like in Madeline's case, Jennifer, she gives like an excuse before she says anything, like instead of just saying she forgot her phone. Oh yeah, because she's absent-minded because she has ADHD. You know, instead
mhm,
of that, and just saying, oh, she has ADHD and she forgets the phone, blah blah blah. It was kind of that kind of same thing with the grandparents. It was
mhm.
like almost blaming everybody else but themselves 99% of the time. Hey Scarlett, King Scarlett, can you send me that picture, hon? I want to compare it.
Okay, well, I just sent her a screenshot of the video that I saw earlier, and she said no, that it's not. It's not the same picture.
I didn't think it was.
But even if you're trying to take another picture like that and say that that's the picture belongs to that crime scene, that's disgusting too.
It is.
But that's all I was wondering if it
Yeah,
was
that
the same one, and she said no, it's not. So
okay. That's all I need to know.
yeah, that is. I don't. It's people hurting their kids. Like I just don't understand it.
And there's
See,
just like so much, and it's not just that. Thank you, King Scarlet. And it's not just that they're hurting their kids, it's the ways they're going about hurting their children. It's
hmm
just
yeah, I seen.
incomprehensible to me.
Yeah, I don't. I just I can't understand it. Like I can't wrap my mind around the fact that a parent would do something like that to their child or allow someone else to do it.
And I mean, across the board, unaliving your child is one thing. Let's say you have one of those days, which you should never have, where you totally lose it and something
Hmm.
happens and you're, oh my God, that's one thing. That's bad enough. But the manner in which they're doing this to their children is getting more evil.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's what's getting me, as well as there just being so many.
Well, there was, and I can't remember the little boy's name, but somebody had posted something on Twitter. It was like one of those videos that you can post on there about a case. And this little boy was 10 years old. He weighed, let's say it said 48 pounds. And his mom, his dad, and his grandmother had been arrested. He had been beaten in his face. He had to dig through garbage to find food. He had been essayed, and I forgot there was like several different things that it had named that this little boy in his short little 10 years had been through. Um, and I don't even remember what state it was in. It's just that the mom, the dad, and the grandmother had been arrested. In like,
Sally,
can we talk about what would make things better?
we can talk about it,
It's
but
just
talk is cheap.
these parents. So like, well, one thing when CPS is called on somebody, they need to take it serious.
They
Um,
do. I mean, we've got all these laws and everything out here, just like with Aubrey. We have all of these laws and everything out there. All they have to do is worse than better.
Mhm. I mean, look at Harmony.
Oh
The
my God,
worker
that poor
was
baby.
literally, the worker was right there. He's, hey, Too Fast. He saw that she had a black eye and done nothing about it. Hold
Yeah.
on, Lady V, hold on just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Scott, how are you? See, was it the one where they filled every hole with dirt? Dan, I don't know. I didn't see that part of it. It was just like a small little video that someone had posted about the little boy in his case. Now, I don't know if I can find it now on Twitter because it was like earlier today whenever I had seen it. It was just like the cutest little boy ever. And there was several pictures, that they had posted of him. And the thought of three people that was supposed to protect him are the three people that were arrested for his death and his abuse. King Scarlet, I have missed all of y'all as well.
Yeah, you're the only real out there, you know.
I have, and I do apologize that I did not make community posts about what was going on.
Oh, I told
Uh,
them, I said, if she feels as horrible as I do or worse, she don't feel like messing with it.
I just, like, for several days, I didn't even get up out of my bed. I felt so bad. Let me see if I can find. Maybe I can find it if I scroll all the way down on my Twitter. It's got to the point where here lately though, like whenever you get on any type of social media, there's always about a
Oh,
kid getting hurt.
yeah, it's everywhere.
It's like that's all there is on social media now.
You know, and I know I said this the other night, but sometimes you think, is it because of what we do, or is it because it's actually getting worse? And the statistics show actually it's getting worse. It's not our imagination.
Hey, sweet Melissa, I think it's both because we're so into true crime and the cases, and we try to get into as many cases as we can, that we see a lot more of it than what we would if we wasn't into it.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, you wonder, okay, is it just because of what you just said, or is it getting worse? It's a combination, I think, of the both.
Right.
Because statistically, it is getting worse. Excuse
Um,
me.
and Dan, it that could be the one. I just, like I said, just seeing like that short little video. So I wish I would have wrote the little boy's name down, and looked at more into the case and seen when it actually happened. But it was a new video, so it must have happened like here recently. Big Al, thank you so much for being a member for 9 months. And he says, okay, who stole my beanbag chair? I'm completely innocent of that. And Big Al, how are you? Michelle, that's what I'm saying. Like, give them their conviction because they are, that is one of their things of being a citizen here. Thank you, Big Al. I'm happy to be back. But once that conviction is handed down and they're guilty, uh, what is the point of waiting? Like, you've done proved that this person did this to this child, whatever the crime may be. Don't give them appeals and all that shit. Do away with them. No matter what state they're in or anything like that. And I'll eventually find that case because now I want to see if it's the same one that Dan is talking about. Glowbug, thank you so much for being a member for 12 months. And Glowbug says, so glad that you're back. Thank you, Glowbug. I'm very happy to be back with all of you.
Okay, y'all. I see you, and I'm going to raise you.
Huh?
You'll see in a minute.
Oh.
I told him I saw them and I was going to raise it. 13 months.
Oh, damn. Well, Lady B, thank you for being a member for 13 months. And she says, love you, Scarlett. And I love you too. And I love everyone else that is here with us. Yes, King Scarlet, take them away with the wind. Like, just get rid of them. There's no point of sticking them in a jail cell. Hey, Gemma Two Ends, what is the point of sticking someone who has done, whether it's SA or they've murdered a child or abused a child in any sort of way? What is the point of giving them a conviction of guilty and then turn around and slapping them in a jail cell and then the taxpayers have to pay for them? What is the point?
Well, my feelings on these child things is they don't need to be breathing on the face of this earth, in my opinion.
And hey Scott, if you start doing away with these, wood chipper is a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you start doing away with people like this who are found guilty, then maybe other people will be like, okay, look, I'm not going to do that. And they will leave these kids alone. Betty Joe, thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. And Betty Joe says, I love you all. Betty Joe, we love you as well. Uh-oh, Lady B. Michelle coming with the 14 months. Michelle, thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. She says, sorry, Lady B, I love you all. And then Nell Elegance by Lady B has been a member for 8 months. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they would let some of these parents who are sick of listening and hearing and seeing about all these kids being abused and hurt and everything else, let them come up with a punishment for these people.
I'm with you on the wood chipper.
I mean, you can use it as fertilizer.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. As evil as they are, it might kill the crops. But
well, I mean,
you know.
you would have to bless the land.
Definitely. I think we should use the jumper cables and batteries first.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a wire, one of those wire bed mattress things.
Yeah.
Seriously though, I think they should start putting them to bye-bye land.
As soon
if
they
are found 100% guilty, forget all the appeals, forget all the crap. Just put them on DP and get rid of them.
I mean, what is the point of giving them an appeal? Honestly,
nothing. Well, only to get off on maybe a little technicality here or there, but they are guilty 100%. Period.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I mean, if they go through the whole court process, they go to trial and everything, then and they're found guilty, and the state proves without a shadow of a doubt that they are guilty, there should be no point of sticking them in a jail cell and making taxpayers pay for it.
No, it's like Chad Dorman. The dude just needs to go bye-bye.
Yeah,
the man's 100% guilty.
I mean, obviously he was sitting out on his steps waiting for the cops to get there with his little boys just a few feet in front of him. Like, whenever the cops took him down on the ground, they had to black out the spot where the babies were at.
Yeah.
You know, and the firearm was sitting right there next to him on the steps.
Yeah.
So it's...
Honestly, I wish he had grabbed for that gun so the cops could have just shot him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he did that to them, and then he
Well, he
injured
made
their
them
mom.
stand like a firing squad
Yeah,
until they started running.
that's that's the reason why it's so hard for me to touch that case, because the one little girl, she left. She ran out of the house and went and ran and got help. Spilled paint. How are you? Um, and then there was, wasn't it one little boy ran into the field
Yeah.
or something, and he went and got him and brought him back. That's, hey, May May, that's one reason why I don't want to touch the case or cover it extensively, because of just the fact that, like, they try to get away and he didn't let them.
You know that's Avery, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
just
do.
want to make sure.
Oh yeah. Spilled paint. Yes, I do. You can't get away from the picture.
No, you absolutely can't. But yeah, I mean, I can't even. Those poor babies standing there in a line just waiting. Yeah. Oh, God.
And isn't he wanting to have his confession thrown out?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He pled
Like,
not guilty. Can you believe that crap? Not
yeah,
guilty.
because see, okay, whenever he went in for his arraignment, and okay, let me grab the link for Avery real quick.
Yes.
Um,
And May, yes, they did let Kayla out. She's going to be getting out here
oh yes, I
pretty
seen
quick.
that too. She was granted parole. Um, I thought whenever he went in and he confessed to what he did, that whenever he went for his arraignment, he was going to go ahead and plead guilty. And I thought he was going to plead guilty to try to get like a lesser sentence or whatever. And then he goes in and pleads not guilty. And I'm like, well, what was the purpose of going in and confessing if you're just going to plead not guilty?
Yeah,
I don't know, these,
because now it's all about him.
uh huh. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, look what he did to his kids and to their mama when she was trying to protect them. So it doesn't surprise me that he goes in and confesses, pleads not guilty, and now he's trying to get his confession thrown out.
Yeah.
There's too much craziness in these cases.
Elsie said, I'm blind in one eye and I thought it said spoiled paint.
Aw. Avery, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sitting outside if the rain, so I'll stay muted. But I want to tell you guys about a case whenever you get done talking.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to tell you now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, crap, I wasn't prepared. Oh, give me just 1 second.
Okay. Max, Avery is in here under Spilled Paint DIY. That's her new
Oh,
name.
I thought it said spoiled paint. So,
yeah. I had made my DIY channel and I named it One DIY Mama.
Hmm.
And I got an email the other day from a lady named One DIY Mommy. And she's patented and copyrighted and has a blog, a channel, everything. And I guess somebody brought it to her attention. And so I had to change it. And I was painting a room and I was in
Hmm.
deep thought about what my new channel name could be as I kicked over an entire gallon of paint.
oh my
I was
goodness.
cussing and fussing. And then I was like, that's it. Spilled
There's your
paint.
sign. There's your sign. Hey,
That,
JC.
please don't change it anymore. It gets hard to keep up with.
Well, I can't help it.
Well,
Okay. Hold on, let me pull this. I want to get this.
I'm like, what is it now? I don't know.
I want to get this girl's name right, so let me pull it up real
okay.
quick. 1 second.
All right. I'm getting me a clean piece of paper while you're doing that so I can write it down. Shit, not pen. There it goes. Y'all, I got up today, sit at the computer, and the last time I was live, which was actually the day that
The
Kohlberger
third.
had his hearing, and I did the hearing that day. Uh, I left the top off of my pen, and that it was dried out tonight. And that was what day was that? Was that the 28th?
No, the
Yeah,
last time you were on was the 3rd, I think.
no.
Wait a minute.
No, the last time I went live was the day that Kohlberger had his hearing. It was either the 26th or the 28th of February. Because the night before that, I was perfectly fine. I didn't go live the night before that though because something else had come up that we were doing, and
Yeah, 9 days
that
ago.
night I went to bed and I was fine, and then I started coughing real bad during the night, and when I woke up the next morning, and I was talking a little bit while we were waiting for the hearing to start, and then I talked a little bit afterwards, and like everybody could tell in my voice that I was sick. Like
Oh, yeah.
it like hit me like that quick. Okay, so the 28th was the last time that I was live, and that was Kohlberger's hearing.
The
So
3rd was the last time you made contact with us.
Okay. Is the rain too
Yeah.
much?
No,
I don't even hear the rain.
Oh, good.
I
Okay.
don't hear it either.
So I put a YouTube link in back chat. It's a press conference that you can play if you want. So this happens here about a week ago, I think is when they found her. This is probably the worst case of torture I think I've ever heard of. So I'm going to be really careful with my words when I talk about it. But
Okay, how old is she?
she's 20,
Okay.
or she was 20.
Okay.
So it was a girl in Birmingham. Her name is Mahogany Jackson, and she was 20 years old, and she was a mother. She went over to hang out with friends. Her friends invited her over. She thought she was going to go hang out for the day, but it was a setup. And they took this girl. They recorded everything that they did to her. It was 6 people that did this to her, men and women. She somehow, while they were assaulting her and doing things to her, she somehow managed to send a text from her phone to, I believe, her sister saying, I'm being held hostage. Call police. Do not call my phone. And so the police were able to ping, her phone. But by the time they ended up finding her, which I believe was the following day, they found her deceased on a road called, I believe it's called Dead Man's Road. They ended up arresting six people, men and women. Some are charged with capital M. All 6 are charged with first degree SODOMY.
Oh, no. I was waiting to hear that.
There's video footage of them holding a GUN to her head while making her perform sex acts.
Mm-hmm.
There's video footage of the men on top of her just repeatedly, throwing punches.
Right.
It was pure, straight up torture, and I believe it went on for a full 24 hours.
Oh my
Before
God.
before they
And
finally,
all of it?
they recorded it, all of it. And at the end, they finally took her life with a gun to her head.
Oh my God.
20 years old. And I put the press conference in the back chat in case you wanted to play it. I mean, it's
Okay.
obviously it's a police officer, or the chief of police talking. So his wording is, like
Like a
television.
yeah.
It's television worthy. You know what I mean? Like it's a press conference. So I don't think that there's any wording or anything that would get you in trouble,
And
but
and what is with all these people videoing all of this stuff?
I don't understand. I really don't. But
There's like this one girl, she videotaped a wreck that she did on purpose to unalive her sister. She
Oh
TikToked
my
it.
god.
Yeah.
Hey, Echo. Jeez.
I just know that the reason I wanted to bring this case up is not just because of how absolutely horrendous it is and the torture that this poor girl went through, but because her case isn't getting any attention whatsoever, and I get very, very infuriated when it's she's a black woman, and I just feel like when they cherry pick these cases, there's
Pascal.
some cases that get so much attention, and then there's some that just don't. And from everything I've read and researched, this girl was a good girl. It was jealousy, and
Okay.
she was a good woman.
I see like three people that are covering it. Pascal's covering it.
Pascal is
Yeah.
good.
The ugly Chucklin said, didn't they arrest an 8th person in that?
That's very possible. I believe the news press, I think they were at 6 people. It's very possible that it was 8. And it's so chilling to me because this is just miles from my house. You know what I mean? Like, this is in Birmingham. I can get to Birmingham in 30 minutes. Like that, it's just, and then to know that it was men and women that did this to her.
Yeah, the ugly Chucklin said it was 5 men, 2 women.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
And all 6 of them, each and every single one of them, sodomized her. And y'all, they did it in ways that it should have killed her alone. What this woman went through, I can't even begin to imagine the pain.
They shouldn't even have to go to court. They should just put them down now.
If they got evidence that they did it, yeah, what is the point of going?
Yeah.
Which I know that is their right as an American citizen to go through, the whole justice system and this and that. But once again, if you're found guilty, straight away get rid of them. What is the point of putting them in a jail cell and making the taxpayers pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a damn shame that they did that to her. She's 20 years old, straight 24 hours of abuse, and then videoed it.
And Max said it was in a parking lot?
From what I read, they took her to several different places. It started at one friend's house, and they took her to an apartment. They took her to several different places, and then finally disposed of her body on Dead Man's. And the name of the road is just chilling itself, but I believe it's called Dead Man's Road or Dead Man's Loop or something like that.
Wow. Well, that's just like somebody mentioned the Shanquilla Robinson case.
Yeah,
that happened in Mexico, but still, she was paid for this entire trip for her friend's birthday to go to this beautiful villa in Mexico. Pay for the whole thing.
That's exactly what it reminded me of when I.
And her friends, her so-called friends, all of them sit back and videoed, and this girl she had no clothes on when she was getting beat up by who she thought was her friend. They never tried to stop it. They kept agging it on, saying, hey, why don't you fight back? And she kept saying, no, I'm not. She didn't want to fight the girl back. And till it finally hurt, she died. And to this day, nothing has been done to any of those people.
No.
Like, her family is still fighting for justice.
Yeah, it's really tough, and that's what they put. The U.S. They put out these travel warnings for us about going to Mexico and different places, but you
Right.
never think that it's going to be the people that you're taking with you.
No.
You
And
know.
I mean, she owned two businesses. She worked, she made her own money.
Hmm.
She didn't depend
Oh,
on
she was
somebody else
gorgeous.
to, yes, very gorgeous. But she
Yeah,
didn't depend on
she definitely.
anybody to give her money or nothing. And she paid, was it 7 or 8 people total that she took down there? And she paid for all of
Yeah,
their plane
yeah,
tickets, for this villa, for everything. And then they had the nerve whenever they had to come back to the States, stole $10,000 from her out of her luggage, stole some of her clothes, and then went and sat in her mama's house and said
And
they didn't know
lied.
what happened to her.
yeah. They went and ate dinner, broke bread
Yes.
with the family.
And
Yeah,
literally lied to her mother.
it's terrible. It
And
really is, and it's
Ugly Chuckling said that there is a third woman, 23-year-old from Hueytown, that was arrested and charged.
Yeah, that's
oh,
a
a third
brunch.
woman. So 5 men and 3 women. It's just so weird to me that women would participate in
That
something so violating. Um, I don't know. That's just weird to me.
yeah. Um,
So
Tony,
8 people on this one poor girl.
yeah,
I just can't.
5 guys, 3 women. That's what it is. Tony, thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. And Tony says head, shoulders, and eyebrow shampoo by Kohlberger.
Maxie.
Scarlett, I don't know if maybe you could at least pull up a picture of Mahogany Jackson.
Yes.
I don't. I really just want her
Okay, hold on.
story to be known. I get so frustrated over these cases that are cherry picked, and it's just
Okay, so it does say that 5 days ago, there's an article on here that says 5 suspects in Mahogany Jackson murder case denied bonds. So that is a good thing.
oh yeah, that is a good thing.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find. Let me go to Google real quick. Oh, wait, there's like a bunch of pictures. So let me. Do you know if there's a Facebook group for this?
Oh no, I didn't know that. Mm-mm.
Okay, I'll have to see if there is one because there is. Because I don't know. I guess this would be her. Let me pull it up. Because it has this picture here, and then it has 8 other people. Is that her?
Yeah,
Um,
that's one of them I saw.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's her.
Is that her?
Yeah, because see,
It
look
is.
right here. It has this
Oh, okay.
picture, and then it says Mahogany Jackson photo from Birmingham Police Department.
Okay, then that must be her. So I had seen some pictures of her where she was like a little bit more fixed up, and that's why I guess I couldn't
Yeah, her
tell.
hair's down.
That kind of looks like a
Well, I
mugshot.
think that's her driver's license picture with
Oh, oh, oh,
the blue background in the back or
oh,
whatever.
oh God. If anything ever happens to me, tell them do not use my driver's license picture.
Well, it was probably
Oh,
easier for them to get the driver's license picture because
I
you can
always go
just they
get
can.
my driver's license picture when I am in full makeup and hair.
I tried to get that lady to let me kind of like bend my knees and, get that above angle coming down a little bit. But no, they get that photo straight on.
All right. Well, this is all the people that was arrested in her
Yes.
case.
So that's 8
There's
of them. Yeah.
wait, hold on. There's so Ariana Robinson would be a female. Giovanni looks like a female. Francis looks like a female. Sanaya and Tasia. So that would be 5 females and 3 males.
Can you blow that up? Zoom
Uh,
in? Because
let me
I
see if
don't think it's 5 females.
that's as far as it'll let me go before it starts.
Well,
Let's see. Okay, Ariana's a girl. Or I think that says Ariana.
Giovanni, she's a girl. It looks like.
No, I think Giovanni's a guy. Blair's a guy. Brandon's a guy.
Okay, the ugly check one said it's 4 girls, 4 guys.
Shania McCall is a girl. I don't know about
And
this
Tasia.
Tisha Lewis.
So 4 girls, 4 guys is what the ugly check one is saying. And he's from Alabama too, right?
Yeah, he actually
Okay.
lives like 7 minutes from me.
Okay.
How do you know?
Let me see
10
if I
minutes,
can
something
find.
like that.
Let's see if
And
let me
there
see.
there is some articles too that like detail out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have. Let me see if I can find, like, how they list like their ages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of all of the.
Robinson, Lewis, McCall are female, Max says.
Oh, hold on. MetaMom just texted me an article, I think, on it to send to you.
Okay. Yeah, 8 days ago, 8th arrest made in the Mahogany Jackson homicide. So this is from the Birmingham Police Department. Let me get this pulled up. Okay, so let me pull this up real quick. And just send it to me, Avery, in Discord. Because I've already got it pulled up.
Oh, I put it in back chat. You want me to
Oh,
send it to
no,
Discord?
no, it's fine.
Okay.
Wait, I think this. Oh, this is the same one I just pulled up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly what MetaMom just sent me.
Okay. All right. So let me see if I can zoom in on this just a little bit. All right. So it says 8th arrest made in Mahogany Jackson homicide investigation. The Birmingham Police Department reports detectives have obtained an arrest warrant for an 8th suspect in connection with the murder of Mahogany Jackson. On Monday, February 26, 2024, Mahogany Jackson was discovered deceased in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue. The suspects have been identified as Ariana Robinson, 23, black female, of Hueytown, Alabama. With assistance from the community, detectives were able to identify Ariana as the suspect in the early stages of the investigation. And as the investigation progressed, detectives presented case information to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. On Friday, March the 1st, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for Ariana Robinson for felony murder and kidnapping. That girl ain't but 23 years old, y'all. And done something like this.
If I remember right, all the suspects are fairly young, too.
Wow.
Yeah. So sad.
Right. Okay, so the Birmingham Police Department reports detectives have obtained arrest warrants for 7 suspects in connection to the murder of Mahogany Jackson. On Monday, February 26, Mahogany Jackson was discovered deceased in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue. With the assistance from the community, detectives were not only able to locate Mahogany Jackson's body, but detectives took 7 suspects responsible for her murder into custody within 48 hours of the investigation. On Wednesday, February 28th, Birmingham police detectives presented case information to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, and after an assessment of the information, detectives obtained arrest warrants for the following suspects. So Giovanni Clapp was black female, 23. Every single one of these, except for the one, is in their 20s, and there's one that's 18. Wow. So Blair Green, which is a female, 25. Tasia Lewis, female. Francis Harris, male. Shania McCall, a female. And then Jeremiah McDowell was 18 years old. And then Brandon Pope, 24.
And you can imagine the one that says, is it Soraya? I'm squinting to see. Number 5,
Sanaya, I think it's,
Sanaya.
yeah, I think it's,
Okay, so she's a female and she's charged with first-degree sodomy. So you know some sort of object was used.
yeah, because there's felony murder, kidnapping in the first degree, sodomy in the first degree, assault in the second with injury was what Giovanni got. Blair Green got felony murder, kidnapping, first degree sodomy. Then there's a felony murder, assault, second degree with injury or weapon. Then they've got Francis Harris has capital murder, sodomy in the first degree, capital murder, kidnapping in the first degree. Let's see. Then Sanaya, like Avery said, has felony murder, kidnapping in the first degree, and sodomy in the first degree. Jeremiah has capital murder and sodomy in the first degree, capital murder, kidnapping in the first. And then Brandon has capital murder, kidnapping, and then capital murder, sodomy in the first degree.
Can you just, I can't even process. I cannot, literally, my brain cannot even process
Where
what
do
this
people
girl
get?
went through.
Yeah, how did people who hurt other people? Where do they come up with this in their mind? Like, I don't.
I don't even know how they can do, how, like, this torturing part of this case, I just, honestly, I just can't process it. And for as long as it went on, I can't process it. Because,
That's sad, honestly. But so pag mentality, that is true, Michelle.
what is it?
But what on earth did what pack mentality? But what on earth did this poor girl do to make them think that she deserved this?
From what I've read, it was something about jealousy. Because she was, from what I've read, she was a good girl, and she thought she was just going to go hang out with her friends. She didn't even know they were mad at her because she had told her family that she was going to go hang out with them.
And they basically set her up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Just like
I can't imagine her feeling. Oh my God, what they're going through. Especially if this is, like I said, in a case like Shanquilla's. Shanquilla's best friend went and sat down in her mama's house and said, "I don't know what happened."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like she thought that this dude was her best friend.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, like, these 8 people, had they, if they're her friends, had they went to her parents' house and to her family's house, and, like, did she grow up with them, or,
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine her. Oh my God, her family. How sad that is. But in the fact that she was
what date
able.
did this happen?
It just happened. They just got arrested, like a week ago.
Yeah, the 8th arrest was made on March the 1st, I think it said. Let me go back and find the article. Shit, where did that? Let me just go to it in the back chat.
Because I remember it coming across my phone screen that she was missing, missing woman. It was saying at that time, missing woman sends text to family saying she's being held hostage. And they were I remember they were trying to find her. So it just wasn't long ago. It's been within the last 2 weeks.
Okay, wait, where did it go? Hold on. So they obtained on Monday, February the 26th is when they found Mahogany.
Yeah.
On Friday, March the 1st is when they obtained the arrest warrant for the 8th person.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they got those. They got them quick because
within 48 hours, it said they had the first 7 people.
Mm-hmm. So somebody probably told on somebody, and then somehow they got into phones and found video footage and
Well, I wonder, like, okay, so when she told her mom or her parents or whoever it was, she told that she was going to go hang out with her friends. I wonder if she mentioned, "Hey, I'm going to hang out with so and so," and that's the last people that she was supposedly supposed to be with. And so when she texts the sister, and it's like, "Hey, I'm being held hostage. Call police." Uh, if the family probably told police, well, she said she was going to hang out with so and maybe they started there and kind of. I mean, because within 48 hours,
hmm
7 people, that's
yeah.
packing in a lot of work in one case in a very short amount of time. Hey, CJK, how are you? So
Yeah.
at least they got them all. So that's the main thing. They got them off the street. They got them denied bonds. Um,
They're
so
in the same jail with Marcus Spanavello, the one who um, was the last to see Cassie Carley
uh-huh.
in Florida. When you remember Cassie Carley when
Yep.
she disappeared, and then
What, she was supposed to take her daughter to see him or something like that.
yeah, hmm
Yeah.
and they found her. They found her body in Birmingham and he was in he had a Birmingham. I think he had a Birmingham address. No. Why was the charge in Alabama? I can't even remember.
Wasn't that where
Oh,
he lived at?
I think it was his employer's farm is where he dropped her body, and then he took
Oh,
off to Tennessee, and they extradited him back from Tennessee to Alabama.
because the crime happened in Alabama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's that same jail. That's where these people are. Same jail where you're on Natalie
Vandersloot.
Holloway's.
Oh, Vandersloot.
Yep, he was same one he was at.
Did they ever send him back to Peru?
They did.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if they ever did or not. That's another one that makes me sick.
Yeah. And he's Dutch, which makes it just worse. Dutch people don't do that shit.
And then so I missed the first part of your stream because I was working on these closet doors.
Mm-hmm.
I turned for my channel. I've been doing my kids' room, and I took the
Right.
mirrored sliding glass doors, and I'm turning them into barn doors.
Mm-hmm.
And I was putting some more wood on. I'll turn my camera on and show you guys. So I missed the beginning of your stream, but what was I going to say?
How is Jade?
Oh, I don't want to. I'll just
Okay,
put that in.
never mind. I thought you were going to say something on your Discord that you hadn't, so never mind.
Oh no. But I have updates on Elijah View too. That's what I was. Nope, hush.
Okay, yeah, because I've tried to keep up with these cases as best I could while I was sick. I didn't do a very good job. So I hadn't seen any updates on Elijah's case or not. So yeah, whatever updates you got.
Can you see the door?
Yes.
Oh,
Hush. Tucker, here's you, Scarlett.
Aw.
But that's where it's at so far. They were just mirrored closet doors,
Mm-hmm.
and I just put wood on them. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you that.
Yep, I like that.
It's not done. It's
It's a work in progress, but it still looks good.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer.
Yep, it'll look good when it's completely finished.
But in your Discord under Elijah's tab, yesterday I put the new affidavit in, and page 4, the second paragraph is the one you'll want to read to everybody. After reading that, I no longer believe that he's alive, unfortunately. There's no doubt in my mind that he's gone.
All right,
Oh, poor baby.
page 4. Which paragraph?
The second one.
Okay. So
I've been waiting to hear that.
number 10. Let's see. I'm gonna have to screenshot this so I can zoom it in.
That mama needs to get up in her son's face and tell them to tell him where he put that baby.
Well, they had her bond reduction hearing and it was denied. Her own
Oh, yeah.
mother, her own mother sends in a letter saying that not to reduce her bond and talked about how,
they want her to stay in jail.
yeah,
Oh no, I meant his mom.
yeah, Elijah's mom, her mother sends in a
No. The
You're talking about
I
Jesse's
can't
mom?
remember. Yes,
Ah.
she needs to get up in her son's face and tell him to say where he is.
yeah.
But yeah, I saw that they wouldn't reduce it. But you said her mom.
Katrina's mom sent a letter in, and she was talking about how her daughter will flee, how she actually faked an abduction before the police report was filed and everything.
I didn't hear that last part. How she faked an abduction. What?
She had faked an abduction before, years ago, and filed police reports and everything, like faked a full-blown abduction. And her mom talked about the other states that they need to look at because she has convictions and stuff in other states. Pretty bad stuff. But that affidavit that I posted, when you read that second paragraph, you're probably going to feel like me, like Elijah's gone, because it is so sick. But
Yeah, I'm reading it now, and she brings another child with her that night
she left the kid alone. Yeah.
in the car.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm just reading this real quick before. So it was cold during this time because she's talking about she sees a cop, and he's talking about, well, they probably think it's just someone warming up.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that part, and about her daughter's phone. I didn't quite understand what was going on.
Yeah, she said something about she needed to find the phone because she needed to leave sound for her. She's saying that the child is autistic, and she needed, like, because she's going to leave her in the car, she needs to have like some type of sound playing for her.
Okay, I got it now. Okay.
Oh my god. She also messaged us to stay warm for a bit, right? He responded, yeah, it will. All just so she can go in and do what she's got to do with this dude. Okay, so wait. So who the hell took photographs? Okay, so photograph was taken. Let me just pull this up. That way y'all will see what I'm seeing. And it's pretty blurry. I don't know. Can y'all see that okay? Or is it
I
blurry?
can. Actually, my blind butt can see it this time.
Okay, I just don't want to zoom
Yeah.
it in too much where it's blurry for me.
It's small, but you can read it.
Okay. Oh wait, that's too blurry. Okay. All right, because I had to screenshot it off of where Avery had posted it in Discord. Okay, so I'm just gonna read. Is it the whole paragraph that you're talking about?
I think it's the end of this second paragraph is where it gets really disturbing, because it talks about Elijah in a photo being like blindfolded and hands tied behind his back and bruises and stuff all over his
okay.
face.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So, yeah, I'll read that part of it. The top part of the paragraph is just basically Elijah's mom and the boyfriend Jesse just kind of messaging back and forth. He's wanting her to come to the apartment so they can have relations. She has her. The other child was her daughter, right? The one that she brought that she left in
Yeah.
the car. Okay, so they have
Yeah.
labeled that child as victim child two. She's claiming that she's autistic. She's wanting to make sure that the car is going to stay warm while she's inside and all this and that. And they were kind of discussing when Jesse needed to put Elijah to sleep and where he's going to be asleep at so he doesn't get woke up. I thought I seen at one part it said that he told her that she couldn't see Elijah while she was there. Just she has to be quiet walking through the apartment or whatever. But it says at approximately 3:13 a.m., a photograph was taken, and the GPS indicates that she was at 3918 Mishicot Drive in Two Rivers. The photograph shows victim child one, which is Elijah, laying down on a bed. Victim child one had a blindfold over his eyes, appears to have bruising on his jawline and neck on the left side, as well as bruising on his upper left arm. Katrina Bauer confirmed that she took the picture and later deleted it around 4:12 a.m. Katrina Bauer's phone leaves Two Rivers at approximately 4:30 a.m. on February the 14th. So why did she take the picture and then delete it? Did she not want him to see it on her phone, or
She's sick. No, she deleted it before police took her phone. She's sick. I'm like, if you read that, which I don't think you want to do it right now, but if you read that whole affidavit, it's a lot of lying that she did to police. Like, it's not just one time that she was in that area. And then they have the two of them, where she comes again to Two Rivers, and this is on a different time. And Jesse goes to a bar, and she goes to the bar, and then she leaves. She goes to a gas station, gets some stuff, goes back to the bar, and then they take off and go somewhere else. And in all of the video surveillance footage, there's no Elijah with them, either of them. But she was back and forth to Two Rivers multiple times during, and she had told police that she was in the Dells area the whole entire time. Then to
right?
find that she took photographs of her own baby blindfolded and tied up with bruises all over his body. Then there's a part in there where Jesse is telling her, he's talking about how he'd been disciplining Elijah, and he says, he doesn't respect me yet, but trust me, he's going to be respecting me soon. Like, it's pretty.
Yeah, I just read the part where he's talking about that. I'm gonna make sure that he hates me and hates being here.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't want him to hate you.
Right.
And then he says something about respect and something about, well, he doesn't respect me, but he's gonna respect me now. There's no telling what this little boy went through.
Well, it did. Okay, so the article or the paragraph that I just read on the panel, the last sentence where it was cut off about mid sentence, it does say that the National Weather Service records the low temperature for Two Rivers on February 14, 2024 was 27 degrees Fahrenheit, and the high temperature was 36 degrees.
Hmm.
So she left that child in the
Hmm.
car when it was cold. And yes, you can turn a car on and let it run and let it get warm in there. But once you turn the car off, the heat is not going to stay in that car for very long in those type of temperatures, and it's going to get freezing in there.
Hmm.
This woman here, Jesus.
And they still cannot find Elijah. They've been looking for so long now.
There's no telling where that little boy is. Honestly, he needs to he needs to give it up and tell them where he's at.
That affidavit was very disturbing to me. The updated and unredacted affidavit in Madeline Soto's case is so
I haven't
disturbing.
I haven't got to read that whole one yet. The whole thing.
It's gonna enrage
That
you.
one's bad.
I
I
read
haven't
like the
heard one
first
that
page.
bad. Wait till you get to the graphic part. I haven't heard that like that in I
Yeah,
can't remember when.
it's like one of those. I don't want to read it, but I know that I need to read it in order to stay up to date with the facts of
Mhm.
the case. But it will not be something that I will be reading on here to everyone. Uh, but I do need to find it and read it. I've only got to read. I've seen a screenshot of like the first page where it was talking about what the mom's boyfriend had been charged with, and where she says, she went to pick Madeline up from school at 4:30, and she was told by the school she wasn't there, and she didn't report her missing until 8 o'clock, and which makes absolutely no sense to me. So just that first page is all I have seen and read.
Oh, they do know from
Oh
his.
wait, Avery, you
Oh,
sound
Avery.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
okay. I don't know what happened to her sound.
I don't know. She sounds like she's down in the barrel.
Like way down in it.
Yeah.
Like she was.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I bounced off of the Wi-Fi. So they know from the information that they've obtained from his phone that the essaying has been happening for at least 2 years,
Since 2022.
and it probably goes back further, but that's what they've been able to verify so far that they've released to the public, and they were able to verify basically every private part on her body. And then they were able to verify his private part because I guess he has like a distinct
Mhm.
marking on his genitalia. So
Wow.
yeah, but they have not charged him with her death. They have not. And then did you hear that the sheriff accidentally uploaded a photo of her
Yes.
deceased body?
Yes. And now, was it? Hold on, wait. Because girl, I went through tonight before I went live and got as many notes on that case as I could. And who is it? I finally found a timeline. And was it the Attorney General's office that's wanting that to be investigated?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
I think that's who it was. But yeah, they have asked for that to. Yes, the state's attorney's office
Hmm.
told the media that they've asked the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to investigate the release of the crime scene photo.
So apparently Stefan's mother has a lot of money. And according
Yeah.
to one of his friends who's been calling into other YouTube channels, his mom paid off some younger girl's family in the
It
past.
was no, it was a room. It was one of his roommate's girlfriends that he would videotape her coming out of the shower and stuff. And his mom
Oh,
paid.
good lord!
His
Oh, okay.
mom paid the roommate off not to report it or say anything about it because he accidentally found it when he's like a computer super hacker nerd, and he found it whenever in a shared file when he was cleaning the server up, and he asked his mom paid him off not to say anything.
Well, I had also heard that from another friend that when he was 18, he was talking to 10 and 12-year-olds
Yeah.
and kind of like the same situation. And then his mom
Well,
handled.
wasn't he when he was like like 19 or 20. He brought a girl to one of the parties and said she was 17, but she was actually 14.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
And this dude worked at, was it, which one's in Florida? Disney World, Disneyland, whatever.
Hmm.
He worked there.
Yep.
Imagine the kids, y'all, that he was around.
Yeah. But it's just suspicious to me that his mom has a lot of money. The sheriff accidentally releases this photo.
Mm-hmm.
He still hasn't been charged with her death.
Yeah, I thought that. I'm wondering, are they? Because I know there had to have been an autopsy going. I'm
Mhm.
wondering if they're waiting on that report to come back before they officially charge him with her death.
Well, then they would
May-
have to be waiting on toxicology or
Maybe
because I
some
think even
DNA.
DNA. Well, I think like say for instance, God forbid, like because a lot of people are speculating that she could have been pregnant, and God forbid, say
Oh
she was,
yes, I heard that too.
yeah, say she was allegedly, and they're waiting on a DNA test. I think that would have come back already.
Yeah,
So maybe toxicology is the only thing I can think of that they could possibly be waiting on. But they've already had her funeral and she's been cremated.
yeah. I seen where.
Why?
I,
Why? What if
I
they meet it again? Oh my God.
that's a Kylie Rodney thing right there.
Yeah.
What if you need the body for more testing? I did see that the night that she was found, that they had a vigil for her, which is understandable for the community and prayers and stuff like that. But I don't understand. Like, and don't get me wrong, if people choose to cremate their loved one, that's their business. But in a case like this, it they should wait because you
Same for
never
the
Maybe it's
know.
money. Maybe it's money. Maybe they can't afford to. But I would think that the state or something would say, no, you can't do that. It's
No,
not
because they had
a
a
closed
GoFundMe.
investigation.
They had a GoFundMe that was plenty enough for a funeral, and they had an organization who volunteered to pay for the funeral. But I feel so bad for her dad and her stepmom. Um, when they say that Madeline was, the light of their lives, like you can truly see that in all the photos and videos and stuff they have of her. Her dad, so the stepmom's been kind of speaking out a little bit in the group on Facebook, but the dad, I guess he's so broken that he can't even like he can't even, speak on any of it. And they did go and attend the funeral. They were there for her birthday party.
And this literally,
Um,
like the morning after they celebrated her 13th birthday, is
mhm.
when this dude did this to her. Because I had heard that it was the day after she turned 13, but she actually turned 13 on February the 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Thursday.
And then they celebrated her 13th birthday on the 25th, and then she
Mhm.
goes missing on the 26th.
And I just, this is what I keep thinking, and I don't know why that this sticks with me, but I'm not so sure that it was that she's pregnant. I know from personal experience that and from research that when men are doing this to little girls, once they get their menstrual cycle, they don't have a use for them anymore because that aspect of them being a child is gone. And I know that from personal experience. And I was a late bloomer, and so I, started puberty on my 13th birthday. It was my actual birthday is when I got mine for the first time. And so I can't help but wonder if she wasn't maybe a late bloomer too, and maybe that's what happened. She finally started her cycle, and then, he had no use for her.
I don't know.
Maybe. Did you actually really look closely at her birthday picture, Scarlett? Her eyes are like just panda eyes.
I only saw the one picture that's where she's standing up behind her birthday cake and she's
Yeah.
like got her hands on her hip. That's the only one I've seen. I'm pretty sure
Well,
there's
her
probably
eyes are
other
so
ones.
dark. Even in that picture, her eyes are so dark.
I'll have to go back and look at it. That's the only one I've seen. Just trying to gather enough information on the case or whatever. Um, and who was it? Sweet Melissa says she's been following the case, and that's the first time that she had heard about her being cremated. Why so soon?
Hmm.
I
Me
mean,
too.
I don't know. I seen it today where somebody had posted. I think it was on Twitter or Facebook or one of them, where they said that she had been cremated, and there was like a little card that has like a saying on the back of it that you can get from a funeral home or something like that, and it had the picture of that and said that she was
Yeah.
cremated. I guess it would have been day before yesterday,
Yeah, the 6th.
and because that post was made yesterday and it said that she was cremated yesterday, so it would have been the day before yesterday when it happened. But I don't understand why. I think that, hey Tonka, I think that in a case like this, like I said, if that's the route you want to go with your loved one, that is completely fine. But at the same time, what if they need that body for more testing, or something happens to the samples that they gathered and they need to go back, or just anything can come up? And if you like, when you cremate the body, it's just there's nothing else. Like it's all gone.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that to a loved one that was involved in something.
I mean, I would, once again, I know that it costs money to have them just to sit at the funeral home or at the morgue, but I would have to find a way to pay for it in order to keep, just in case. I'm one of those people of what if or just in case.
Hmm.
But
You know what I'm saying?
said that they had enough money.
Tonka, yes, that we're talking about Madeline's case. And y'all, the day that when they found her, and they had the helicopter up above, and I wanted to go live with it, even though I was sick, and just let it play and kind of hang out and chat with everybody. But y'all, I was sick on one thing, and just the fact of it being a kid,
Hmm.
it. I don't know if I could have handled it that day, honestly. Hey Tiff, how are you?
Especially, it came so quickly after Audrey Cunningham.
Right. It literally, like, we Audrey Cunningham's case happened. She's supposed to go to school and she doesn't make it to school, and then we find out what
Hmm.
happened to her, and then boom, there's another one right behind her case
Hmm.
that is just like her case.
Oh, Audrey's grandparents decided to speak out and did a 30-minute interview.
I heard, and I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard that a lot of people are upset with it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. There's been so many cases trying to keep up with
Yeah.
all of them.
And King Scarlet said apparently the mom has lawyered up now and does not talk to law enforcement, talking about Madeline's mom. And I've heard that also, that she lawyered up and is no longer talking.
I've heard that too, but the thing is, I'm hearing all these different things, but I'm not seeing anything verified by law enforcement. So,
I mean,
because law enforcement isn't talking. No prosecutors are talking. They're not updating us.
no, because so on the timeline that I found today, let me go back to the last day, which was March the 6th. They said, as of this date, there is no additional information has been shared about the investigation. In addition, no charges have yet been filed in Madeline's death. So since the 6th, and that's when they came out and said that they were going to continue to investigate her death. Released court records showed that Stearns is accused of SA Madeline for years, despite Stearns' attempt to wipe his phone, because he claims that he accidentally did a reset on his phone or whatever, and they seen where he
Factory
tried to
reset.
do that. Yeah, a factory reset, and they seen where he had done that, and they were still able to recover, those images and stuff like that. And so that was on the 6th was the last thing that I could find as far as the timeline of her case, and they said that they wasn't
hmm
sharing any more information. Um, like
And
Keith Scarlett.
that has me baffled because what could it possibly be that they can't give updates or they can't charge? It's
Maybe they're waiting on those results to come back.
do we know for sure that it's being looked at as a homicide investigation?
Well, he from what I have seen, he is their prime suspect in her death. They just haven't
hmm
charged him.
hmm
I don't remember if I have seen that it's being investigated as a homicide or not, or as
Because I
foul play or any. I mean, obviously it would be foul play because
well I don't
where they found her and stuff like that.
I even had the thought, what if she did something to herself and then he panicked or I don't know. I've just
I
had a
think
lot of thoughts.
I think it's going to determine what that autopsy report when it comes back, the toxicology report. I think it's going
hmm
to determine when all of that comes back when he's going to be charged.
hmm
And King Scarlett says Audrey's case, she done some digging, and the grandma has a nonprofit. What is the nonprofit for?
Oh Lord,
I mean, I still think the grandma in that case
this
should be
woman.
held responsible.
I don't understand why they haven't charged those
Oh,
grandparents.
now they're wanting to do an Audrey's Law, and they're wanting to get into all of. They said that they looked it up on the SO registry and didn't find him. And I
Okay.
mean, seriously, it's gonna make you mad when you listen to that.
Oh no, okay. So I did read where they put out the statement a while back. The family did, or the dad side of the family, and they said that they looked on they knew that he was a former inmate, and they looked up on the SO registry, and he wasn't on there. So you mean to tell me you know that this dude was a former inmate? You go look him up on the list, and he's not on the registry, but you didn't continue to look up and see what he had been locked up
Right,
for. I
right.
mean, it would have been a simple search, just like any of us who
But
was talking about that case. We looked it up and see what he had been charged for. They could
but
have too.
they said, he said all of it was because he was on drugs and he wanted to get off. And I mean,
That's-
it's gonna make you mad.
Yeah, I
And
heard
the
that they.
son is too distraught to even
Oh,
talk.
please. That. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I have to keep myself calm, y'all, or I'll start coughing again. But that he didn't care. If he cared, he wouldn't have had that man staying with his daughter.
Right.
So I don't believe that he's even upset.
I don't either because I can tell you right now, there is nobody with a Nazi tattoo or
Hell
Aryan
no.
Brotherhood tattoos that are coming anywhere near me or my kids.
Well, there ain't gonna be
Exactly.
no former inmate, and just because you look them up and they're not on the registry list, you continue to look them up and see what they were, because he can come and say, "Oh, I got arrested and was put in jail because I had traffic tickets that I didn't pay," or some little small minor thing, like
hmm
that.
Well, no,
Whether
it sounded like he came kind of clean to him on some things, but he blamed it all on drugs. And they said nobody was giving this guy a chance. And as Christians, we're taught to give him a second chance. I'm like, give him a second chance. It doesn't mean you have to have him in your house.
Right.
well, if it comes out that they knew that what he had done in the past and those previous charges that he originally got, and he pled to a lesser charge that did not require him to register, and they knew about that, and they still allowed him around that little girl. If they don't get charged at that point, because they basically endangered the granddaughter.
Well, they
Yeah,
had
they did.
another offender living on their property
Yeah,
too
Yeah,
in one of
yeah,
those campers.
exactly.
yeah.
And if we can find out, they could have found out.
And that
Exactly.
man was on the registry. His,
Yeah,
what was his name?
exactly.
Roger Smith or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was on the actual registry. So apparently they weren't checking that kind of stuff.
That's what irritates me. That okay, I get you want to give somebody a second chance. Help them get their own place to live. Help them get a job. Whatever you got to do away from your house if you feel the need to want to do that. Me personally, I would not help anybody who has
No way.
any type of charge like that, whether they're on the registry or not. If they've been accused of it, I ain't helping you. Go do it on your own.
Yeah.
But
Well, I tell you
that's
what, there's a
that's what you
reason
do.
why nobody was helping him.
Exactly, because of what he had previously done.
It's so
Uh,
strange because those are the kind of just the way he looks and with his shirt off and stuff. Those are the kinds of men who, like, if I was ever walking with my kids somewhere and
I'd
seen
cross the
somebody,
street and get away from them.
yeah, that's
Oh yeah.
exactly, that's what I was gonna say. That's the kind of man that you
Yeah.
you you get your kids' eyes, to look somewhere else, and you start
Right.
crossing the
Yeah.
street. But
Um,
now you have people, hey, come live on my property.
and yeah,
Pascal said that they moved the trailer when they had this interview, but that trailer was actually butted up so close to the house you couldn't tell the difference between the house or the trailer.
Oh, yeah, he had full access to that little girl. It
Yeah.
just, mm,
and May says so. They had another. Wait, where did it go? They had another living on their property. May, yes, there was another guy that was on the registry list that was living on their property. And then King Scarlet says that's where the nonprofit comes in, helping incarcerated people. Okay, I get if you want to help someone who has been to prison, they're getting out, they don't have a place to stay, they don't have a job. You want to help them with all that. You just do that away from your house, away from your
Well,
property, away from your family.
if she raises and breeds and shows poodles, she probably used them to help her clean and do all of that stuff.
But just not with an 11-year-old child on the
No.
property.
Yeah.
That's
No, I agree. It's still
that's what I
ridiculous.
don't understand is why choose that kind of a nonprofit when you have a kid at home.
right.
There's so many other nonprofits.
And you
that
won't
will
even
make-
let her mom see her.
No.
But you let all of these other scumbags see
But I
her.
wonder though if he didn't want the mom seeing her, so she wouldn't go back and tell the mom what was going on at the property.
Yeah, that's kind of what I suspect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know them people, and I don't like them. Honestly. Hey, Big John, how are you? That is just
It's pretty insane. All of these different cases. There's just so many right now.
yeah, and that's like the Sebastian Rogers case, which is the
Mm.
autistic boy who's been missing for several days now. He's 15 years old. I was trying to get some information on that one, but I mean, like he still hasn't.
There's
been
not a lot out there.
Yeah, I think it's day 13.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
the
like
mom
that.
and the stepdad, they did an interview. His dad, I think, is a deputy sheriff, but not there.
Hmm.
And he did a phone interview.
Hmm.
Yeah, I seen where the mom and the stepdad did an interview, but they didn't want to be on camera because they had been so upset and stuff like that.
No,
But,
they were on camera.
okay,
Yeah,
well,
the first one they were.
okay, well, I know that there was one that I saw today when I was looking through some stuff but they said that they didn't want to be on camera because they were too upset.
Could be, but they did do one on, and it was really kind of strange on that one too. I mean, she would not look at him.
And there's a picture of him going around, and it looks like he's in a school type setting. And you can clearly see bruises all over his throat and fingerprints.
on Sebastian.
Yeah, black and blue marks all over his throat.
Oh.
So I don't know. And there's such limited information on that case too. It's like,
Yeah,
where in the world could he be?
I couldn't find a whole lot other than he went missing February the 26th. Wait, so wasn't that the same day that? Yes,
Yeah,
he was
it
reported
was.
missing on the 26th, the same day that Madeline was reported missing.
Yes. It
I
was.
And I
just
think the
realized that.
26th is the same day this girl here, her Mahogany,
Mahogany.
disappeared.
Oh well. I mean, that's all I could find on him is that he went missing. Allegedly, um, they went to bed that night. When she went in to wake him up the next morning, he was gone. She calls her husband, says she can't find him. He's not here. He's not in the house. Uh, they he has his favorite song. The police have tried to like blare it over intercoms and stuff like that, thinking that maybe he would hear it and come out. Uh, there was hold on, I took a screenshot of something
The
today.
dad works in Memphis, which is like 3.5 hours away.
They did a search through a landfill that was across the state line in Kentucky because that's where the trash for his neighborhood goes to. Um, and they didn't find anything, but I think they were just kind of going off of a, we want to make sure, because there is trash that is collected from the neighborhood. We found out what landfill it goes to. We found out what area that it's dumped at the landfill. Um, and so I guess that was kind of like a thing they wanted to do to like rule that part out. So there's no questions later. Could he?
The thing of it is, have you seen the neighborhood this kid lives in?
No, I haven't.
It's like when it's a very nice neighborhood,
Hmm.
and it's just like house after house after house after house, and it's like in this there's like only one way in and only one way out. There's not any video surveillance of this kid. None. None.
Is there any water around it?
They've been checking that.
Yeah. Yeah, they said they were going to go back again to all the neighbors to try to
Yeah.
go back
And
over any video, but there's literally no sign of him on
no.
anybody's footage.
And they took dogs out there, and the dogs can't find any scent either
Hmm.
at all. Nothing.
Hmm.
So did he actually leave the house, or is this something that?
Was he taken out in a truck? I mean,
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if their house has a garage on it, you park the car in the
it
garage.
does.
You load it up.
2-car garage.
I mean, that could be one reason why the dogs didn't pick up a scent away from the house.
Right.
But did he actually leave the house? I mean, is there
Right.
places that they can hide a person?
They said they said they looked everywhere.
Do you guys remember the case of it was also an autistic little boy? I think he was like 11 or 13 or something, and he disappeared, and they were looking everywhere, 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 had dogs, everything, and weeks went by, and they ended up finding him in a house across the street. He had he had climbed up onto the roof of the house and went down the chimney and got himself stuck in the chimney, and that's where he
Oh my
passed.
God.
Oh no, I haven't heard of that one.
And
Oh wow.
and everybody was pointing the fingers, at the parents and stuff, thinking they had done
And he
something to
passed.
him. Yeah,
He
he
passed
he
in there.
he
Oh my
died in that
God.
chimney. He had been, and yeah, he had been in there the entire time, right across the
Oh
street.
my God.
Well,
And they were searching the whole town, the whole town looking for him. And he was right across the street the whole time.
no. Yeah, you have to.
Well, I know that stepdad has some sort of domestic abuse thing. I don't know how significant or how minor that is. Maybe somebody else does, but um, I don't know. He never put his hand on his wife to comfort her. She wouldn't look at him. It was just the weirdest. dynamic between the
Mhm.
two of them.
I know that there may be some people who, like, if they have a missing kid, that they're not physically able or even emotionally able to go out and look for their kid that's missing. I just don't know if I could sit at home
I'm
knowing.
not sure his mom is because she looks like she's just, I mean, if anybody's drugged or in complete shock, it's her.
Mm, I don't know. I couldn't sit. I couldn't sit still.
Mm-mm.
I would have to be out looking for my child.
I know in crisis situations, some married couples pull together, and it brings them closer, and some it
Kind of just get
does the
pushed
opposite.
apart. Yeah.
Well, he would glance at her. She wouldn't even look at him.
Oh, wow. I know that, like I said, I saw where they did the interview, but it, y'all, this is the first day I've actually sit at my computer, so I'm still trying to get caught up on everything. Um, so these two are like the main two I've got to get caught up on. But like with kids with autism, though, you have to keep. And I'm not saying like the family didn't have, you know, the doors locked the way they needed to be locked so he couldn't get out, and the windows locked, and the house secure so he couldn't get out and all this and that. But
Even
you
if
have to
he,
keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Scarlett, even if, okay, I've been around people that have Asperger's, but I haven't really been around on an extended basis of people that are autistic.
Hmm.
They said he was a high functioning autistic
Right,
child.
right.
Does that, even at 15 and being high functioning, would they have to watch the door?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because an autistic child can wander no matter what part of the spectrum they're on.
Now, what
It's
exactly does high functioning mean, Scarlett?
it's basically where you can do things that the child can, or the autistic person can do things for themselves. Like my son was, when he was diagnosed, he was high functioning classic autistic.
Okay.
He can cook for himself. He can bathe himself. He knows that whenever, like, if he wanted to wash his own clothes, he knows how to work the washer. He knows once they're, done washing, you put them in the dryer, you take them out, you hang them up, fold them up, or fold them, put them up and all that. Like he, even though he is used to be nonverbal, he now talks with a slight issue with the speech, and he has taken speech therapy and stuff like that, where you have one that is not high functioning, like they are solely dependent on you. um,
Okay.
you have to do everything for them.
Right. Completely in their own little world,
Yes, but either way,
literally.
whether they're high functioning, whether they're Asperger's, whatever their diagnosis may be, there can be something that they can be outside. Okay. And a lot of autistic people are not, they don't sense danger, so they don't, there can be a time where they can go towards a road and not realize, hey, I need to stop and look both ways because I could get hit by a car. Hey, don't go to the water because I can go in there and not be able to get out and drown. um, there may be something that they notice when they're outside and start, like, let's just butterfly for an example. They can see a butterfly and start following this butterfly, and it never crossed their mind that they're getting further and further and further away from home until they're already in the woods and they're lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's why,
Uh,
even at 24 years old, my son does not go outside by himself.
They said
It's
there was
yeah.
this one boy. They said there was this one autistic boy that went missing, and he took off and he was running and he ran, and the kid, it was like a week later they found him. He had literally ran until he just fell over unalive.
Yeah, my son loves to run. Like that is like his thing. That's how he gets his energy out. He goes outside. He will like all over the yard. It's just that's his thing. There's
What
many things that he's into. He's into music. He's into light bulbs, and he loves to go outside and run.
what is I keep seeing on TV these ads that say, do you have an autistic child and did you take Tylenol while
Tylenol,
you were pregnant?
yes.
So there's I guess there's some kind of a link between taking Tylenol and
I have seen that, but I mean, you got to think of it like this though. When my son was younger, they were saying that the vaccines that kids are supposed to
Yeah,
get when they're babies was linked to it.
right.
They're saying that Tylenol is. They're saying that there is environmental factors that are linked to it.
oh wow.
Like there's been so many different things that they have claimed that is associated with someone having autism that honestly I don't think they actually know what causes it.
I don't know. All I know, there was a huge spike in it.
Yeah, I think though that maybe back in the day they had it, or some people had it, they just didn't know exactly what it was, so there wasn't. It was that what is it? They give the diagnosis to everyone. Oh crap, uh, mental retardation. I think is what like they give
Oh,
like that
okay.
one broad, like that's what
Yeah.
everybody with a mental illness, that was what their diagnosis was. Where now they have
Oh,
you have there's bipolar, there's autism, there's
hmm.
schizophrenia, there's like all these different things. I really don't think they know what causes
Wow, I
autism.
never thought of it that way.
But I will say this, that every autistic child or adult that I have ever been around is super, super smart. Every
Oh,
single
yeah.
one of them. There is not like they are very intelligent people. And from experience, okay, you cannot hold a conversation with someone else, with an autistic person in the room, if you don't want it repeated. Because just because they're playing a game or they're playing on their phone or they're reading a book, they will fool you with that. Because they can be acting like they're playing on their phone and be listening to your entire conversation and turn around and repeat your entire conversation to you.
I know the
But
two people I know with Asperger's, they are, oh my God, they are just absolutely
yeah. And then you have your
incredibly
savants.
smart.
You
Yeah.
have your savants, which is basically like a photographic memory. They remember every little detail of every little thing. And it's very fascinating, honestly. And that's why I joke with my son. If I have a password on my computer, he cannot even be in the room with me whenever I type my password in, because just him seeing where my fingers go on the keyboard, he knows what my password is. So I have to watch him. They're super, super smart people. And that's why they're like when they were talking about with Sebastian, his favorite song is Eye of the Tiger, and they
Yeah.
were playing it loud for him. I'm thinking because some kids are into music. Obviously, he is. My son's into music. Uh, if he hears that song, that may be a song that they knew that would draw him back to wherever he hears it coming from, and they got nothing in that. With them doing that. So, like, where is this kid at?
I
If
don't
he's not
know.
being picked up on,
Not one single video of the kid. No smell for the dogs to trace. Something's not right.
it's yeah, that's not making sense, because I didn't know that they didn't even pick him up on camera, or the dogs didn't pick up a scent. So that tells me that he had to have left the house in a car, out of the garage, or something like that,
Yeah.
or he's somewhere around that house where his scent would still be at.
Right.
Because yes, like I said, an autistic child or even an adult will wander off, if you're not watching them. But that's not making any sense, because they should have picked up his scent. Like the mom goes in the bedroom the next morning to wake him up. Was there a door open? Was there a door unlocked? Was there a window that was open or had been unlocked? Because obviously, if you have all of your windows and all of your doors locked, yeah, he can lock a door as he's going out. But what about a window? He can't shut the window and lock it back if he goes out of it. So
I
have they
think
even
I'd have
said,
alarms on every one of mine.
yeah, because you can get the alarms on your house that goes on your doors and your windows that would alert you, like front door is open, window whatever is open.
Right.
It like and it tells you in your house. But have they said if they found a way that he has gotten out of their house?
I haven't heard one.
See, I think there's something up. There's got to be something up.
Sally said her grandson is autistic. He got out of the house today.
There,
Did they find him?
I mean, you can have 100 locks on your door. They will figure it out if they watch you enough. They will see how to unlock each one of those locks and get out of the house. You have to keep an eye on them. In the blink of an eye, they can be gone.
I think that's why I would have alarms on every one of them. Not just the little cheapy ones. I mean,
Right.
the alarms, professional alarm. We lost Avery.
Oh Lord, she then fell off the thing again. My background, Sarah Beth, this is my air conditioner.
No, your picture.
Oh, my picture. Okay. I thought she meant my background noise. Because y'all, it was like hot as I don't know what today, but my house is freezing.
Hey,
GGB, how are you? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look more into Sebastian's case. Oh, never mind. I see what Avery said in the back chat. So she'll be back later. Okay, I gotta catch up in chat. All right, yeah. And if y'all have not hit the thumbs up, please do so.
Yeah, guys, I know we like our little group here, but it'd be nice if we could help her grow.
Yeah, because it shows we have 85 people in here right now, but only 67 likes. But mine only updates every minute, so I may have to wait for it to update. Let's see. Yeah, May, I've got to get called up on them on Sebastian's and Madeline's. You would love to have a photographic memory. Hey, Wildflower, how are you?
That's
I mean,
Marina, I think.
yeah, it is. I mean, if y'all have ever watched the movie Rain Man, he was an autistic savant.
Oh, that
It's
was a fascinating show.
it's very intriguing what like the mind that an autistic person has.
We have
But
a little boys out at our church that has it. So I mean, I've been around it, but not like on a personal level like you.
yeah, they're very smart people, even though it's considered a mental health um, diagnosis.
Probably
They
because
don't-
when they focus on something, it's a laser focus.
Oh, yeah, it is. Hey, Libra Moon. New docs on Bronco. Oh, you know what, y'all? I have not even been to the Idaho website today. Hold on. I cannot believe I didn't even think of that. I did see though. I can't remember if it was during the time that I was already sick or right before that. But on the Jeremy Best case, he's a guy from Idaho that murdered his pregnant wife and his little boy.
Yeah.
Well, the state of Idaho is seeking the death penalty on him. So they came out February the 28th and put out a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. Let's see what we got in Kohlberger. You'll know I'm slacking when I haven't even been to the Idaho website.
Who you talking to, Libra?
I sent you a the pic Lady V was talking about in Discord. Okay, let me see what she has sent to me. I know she sent me something earlier, I believe. Wait, what was it? What was it that you sent to me, Libra Moon?
Madeline Soto birthday picture.
Okay, I don't see that.
It's the one that you're talking about.
Okay, with her hands on her hips.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
if you look at that picture too, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but if you look at that picture, you can see the reflection of
Of a man
Stefan.
sitting. Did you see the like
There's
at the?
like two people in the back that are
Yeah.
sitting on couches, it looks like, but there's one standing right there close to the table that you can see, and it's Stefan.
Okay. Libra Moon. Thank you. I see the pictures now. She put it in the family one. Okay. Yeah, I saw when I had come across like the whole picture, and I don't know why that one like it's like somebody is sitting there with a white hoodie on or standing like you can see the reflection in the
Yeah.
window back behind her, which is very creepy. Let's see, possible co-defendants in Madeline's case.
What?
Wait, Tonka, which? Okay, wait, hold on. Who just said about the co-defendant? I saw it. Now I gotta find it.
Tonka. I heard they said, oh, heard they said something about a co-defendant.
In Brian's
You're talking
case,
about in Brian's?
I have not seen that.
I haven't heard that, but I've been sick too.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. Um,
Kohlberger, she said.
okay, no, I haven't heard nothing about a co-defendant.
I haven't either.
That's interesting though. Tonka, where did you see that at? I heard they said something about a co-defendant. Hmm.
Co-defendant. So is he finally turning somebody in?
Damn y'all. I gotta quit getting sick. I'm just missing everything. Okay, so there was something that came out. What day was this? Response to the public records request on the 28th. I think I might have. Wait, what is this? Order approving appointed counsel hourly rates. So this was January the 6th of 2023. Oh, wait, shit. What am I doing? I think I read this.
Tonka says that another creator has commented, but like I said, I haven't seen any verification.
Okay. I would probably wait on that about the co-defendant. I haven't seen any, which I have been away for a little over a week. Hey, Mark and Betty, how are y'all? Um,
Well, with all the rumors going around, I guess it could be Brent Kopacka.
yeah,
Good Lord.
like I thought that I had mentioned before about that I was getting these emails from this certain person who was just like email after email with all these crazy, ridiculous stuff, and I thought that I had the person blocked. Well, apparently they must have made a new email or something, or I didn't block all of them. And I have been like the past couple of days when I've been sick, I've been getting these different emails and just some of like the craziest.
That's because people are going back over all the crazy stuff.
Okay, so it's supposed to be new paperwork from the court. Okay, well, there's 4 new documents. Because before the 4, the last one before these 4 that came out while I've been sick was when they had set the hearing date that he had on the 28th of February. It was 1 o'clock. It was open to the public, blah, 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 and all this and that. So let me go through, because I haven't read these last 4. There is one that was a response to the public records request. Let's see. And I'm just skimming through it real quick. I guess somebody is asking for a total cost of
So
record.
she's talking about the Kohlberger case.
Okay, there is. Let me pull this one up. So this is an order setting deadlines and hearings. So based on the February 28, 2024 hearing, the court orders the following. So any notice of defense of alibi must be filed no later than April the 17th, 2024 if the defendant intends to offer a defense of alibi. The notice must comply with the Idaho Code Section 19-519 and shall state the specific place or places at which the defendant claims to have been at the time of the alleged offenses and the names and addresses of the witnesses upon whom he intends to rely to establish such alibi. A hearing on the defendant's motion for a change of venue will be held on May the 14th of 2024 at 1:30 p.m. It'll be in person, open to the public, streamed live on the court's YouTube channel. The defendant's brief, witness list, and any evidence of the defense wishes to present in support of the motion for a change of venue must be filed by April the 17th. The state's response, brief, witness list, and any evidence in opposition to the motion must be filed by May the 1st. The deadline for the state's discovery will be turned over to the defense. That has to be done by September the 6th of 2024. The deadline for the defense's discovery to be turned over to the state, including mitigation, is January 9th of 2025. So it wouldn't be that one. Let's see. What is this one? This one here is talking about an amended order for the disclosure of the IGG information and protection order. And this one is just saying that based on the hearing on the 28th, the sealed order for disclosure of IGG information and protection order is amended as follows. And the defense counsel, which is Ann Taylor, Jay Logson, Eliza Masseth, defendant Brian Kohlberger, and IGG defense experts Dr. Leah Larkin, Becca Barlow, and Stephen Mercer may view the IGG materials provided by the state. Any further dissemination of the materials or the information contained within the materials, including to any investigators, must first be approved by the court after a showing by the defense as to why such individuals need the information for the preparation of the defense. Additionally, no individual on the family tree who is not previously known to the defense via the defense's own investigation may be contacted by the defense or any agent of the defense without prior authorization from the court after showing as to why such contact is necessary. The defense's mitigation expert, who has created her own family tree and who does not have access to any of the IGG information, may contain her mitigation investigation, including contacting the defendant's immediate family members and other related individuals. Okay, so there's that one. And then the only other one is a motion requesting more deadlines. Unless there's unless there's something else that's supposed to be coming out, I don't see anything about a co-defendant. So I think that's something that another creator is probably wanting to get that out as a rumor. Meta Mom, yes, I did see that Kayla has been granted parole. I don't agree with it.
I don't either. Read too fast.
Okay, Lordy, I was looking at the Amazon list, and at the bottom, it had the others that looked at things that you looked at chose. It was a K-bar knife. I've been searching too many things. Someone's imagining crap, but you never know, and I haven't had time to check. Yeah, if there's something that comes out that is legit about a co-defendant, that shit like that'll be no
That'll
trending
be
number one
explosive,
on
man.
yeah, it'll be trending on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Uh, every creator who has talked about the Idaho 4 case will be talking about it. Yeah, it'll be all over the place. And even though I still think that someone else was involved with him, I don't think it'll ever come out that there. If there was one, I don't think it'll ever come out. TikTok,
Well,
yes, TikTok would be all over it too.
yeah, at least not right now. I don't think it would.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, he's if he's going to turn on somebody, he would have to have proof that they were there, and the only way he could have proof that they were there is that he had to be there too. He would basically be ratting himself out.
Right.
Let's see, the defense filed something in the discovery a couple of months ago to get any evidence that may insinuate a co-defendant. The ugly Chucklin, do you remember what month that would have been? Hearing Monday with Crystal for Harmony's Estates. Oh, wow.
What?
Metamom said that
Oh,
there's a hearing.
Crystal.
Yeah, Harmony's mom to get.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it said like a couple of weeks ago that she was trying to become the executor of Harmony's estate?
Yeah, I think so. Like me, though. I mean, I've been trying to keep up. I think I've kept up a little bit better than you because I couldn't lay in bed and just lay there. But
Oh God,
I still didn't.
I felt like if I even tried to move, like I could barely even turn over in the bed. I felt like my chest was gonna break.
Yeah.
I
I,
was hurting so bad.
I can't lay in bed. My body hurts too bad for that. But I come up here to my little salon area and sit in my little office chair and do like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Tonka, I saw that too, where some people were thinking that the judge started to say Kopaka and then kind of like corrected himself and said Kohlberger. Uh, there was even somebody had even put a video out of the judge, like the clip of that, and in a way, it just kind of sounds like he starts to say like Copat, and then he stops and says Kohlberger. But I honestly, I don't trust video clips like that because they can be altered.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I haven't went back and listened to the live that I did that night or that day, whenever I streamed it. I haven't went back and listened to that because I know that has not been altered. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of people like that shit was like all over Twitter. Okay, Avery, you back?
Yeah.
Grab the link for her. Put it back in the chat. The ugly. Okay, so maybe November. Okay. The ugly Truckland. I will go back and see if I can try to find anything in November, December, October, somewhere in there about a co-defendant and see what I can find.
Sorry, I'm not very talkative. I start coughing.
No, you're good. I've got like 20 cough drops up here. I've got a bottle of water.
Yeah.
I'm prepared. So if I start coughing real bad, I can just grab something.
Yeah, because my coughing fits can probably like yours go on for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh yeah,
I can't breathe.
yeah. Mine get really bad. That's why I have my air conditioner going in here, and it's 58 degrees. I have my air set on 61. I have the fan going to try to keep it as cool in here as possible because if I get hot, I really start coughing.
Yeah, I got my fan going too.
That'll be hearing will be streamed as well. So the crystal one, Metamom, will be streamed. Okay, Avery, no problem. Huh, now I'm gonna have to go. Metamom, do you know, is it gonna be Court TV or Long Crom? Because I know usually, like one will do a hearing or a trial or something like that, and then the other one won't do it. What am I? There was something I was wanting to look for.
Ugly Chuckling said, I found an article on Yahoo by The Independent that says January.
Okay, I'll go back to. I'll look through January's also and see what I can find. Okay, let me see if I can find the video for Audrey Cunningham's grandparents. Let's see, that was 2 weeks ago. Is it where they're wearing purple shirts?
Yes,
Okay.
and they're sitting out on their little patio area.
Outside or something? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's
Pictures
gonna be on
behind
WebX. Oh god, I hate WebX. Wait, why is it not pulling up the video? What the heck? Yeah, they just showed the video on here. Did they take it off of their news feed? Oh well, shit. I don't. It shows that it's on this news place on Click to Houston, but it's not.
Audrey King Scarlett, the grandparents interview.
Let's see if this is it. I'd never do anything to hurt her. The grandmother of Audrey Cunningham says accused murderer lied to her. Oh, okay, so that one doesn't have a video on it either. Let me see who has a YouTube video of it. Okay, I found it. It's only like 11 minutes and something, so we're about to watch it, y'all. Okay, I'll throw that co-defendant bullshit out the window. If there was, I believe we'd already know. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that they would have found out if there's a co-defendant, but
I think you might have a short one. Hold on.
it's 30 minutes. Okay, so the one I
30.
found is 11 minutes and 26 seconds.
Here, hold on. I'll put this in Discord.
Okay, well, if it's a longer one, then we'll have to play it on fast.
I'm putting under Audrey's
Okay.
page. There you go.
All right, thank you. All right, let me speed it up a little bit. Okay, that's speed. I has everyone in here, have y'all watched this? The grandparents?
I would
their
like to
interview?
watch it again. I've only
Okay.
seen it once and it was being interrupted. So
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it on fast speed instead of normal, just so we can get through it a little bit quicker.
oh yeah, I've gone through I don't know how many trials on 2.0 speed this week.
It's a lot easier like that. Hopefully, we'll be able to understand it. If I get where I can't understand it, though, I'll cut it back on normal speed. Hey, Jeff H, how are you? Jeff H says the best way to keep a secret is to be the only one who ever knew it. And I really think BK is a loner, lives in his thoughts, just a gut feeling and opinion. Okay.
I tend
I
to
don't know.
agree with you, Jeff.
I've always had that feeling that there was somebody else involved in it. And I've said from the beginning, I've that gut feeling, but I could be wrong. And I like they said, I think that if there was someone else that was involved in it, whether he outed them, which I don't think he would have, just because he would be implicating himself, I think they would have came out and said, "Hey, there was somebody else involved in it." What else? Okay, well, I've got it on like 1.25 speed, so I'm
Oh,
gonna.
that should be good. You
Okay,
probably even put it on 1.5.
you think we'll be able to understand it on 1.5? We'll try it. If not, I'll slow it down a little bit for everybody. And I've got it up as loud as it'll go. I don't know how the audio is going to be on this. Uh, so y'all might have to cut your volumes up. So I'm going to go ahead and mute out while it's playing. And then
It
I
was
will.
good whenever I saw it. So
Okay. All right. So let's get it going.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it. I guess let's start with Audrey. Who, if you had to introduce her to somebody that never met her before, how would you introduce Audrey?
She didn't need any introduction. She would come to you, and she just was a loving, caring, compassionate child. We taught her that there was no difference in the world, to not judge people by their exterior, to learn their heart. She was amazing. She loved coming to work with me and helping with the elderly folks, bring in little Christmas gifts or just whatever she could do. She was just full of love and life.
And she was creative in a way that amazed us sometimes, that she would paint a picture. I mean, she's 11 years old, so she still was learning, but our refrigerator was often covered with all of her little drawings and paintings that she did, and we encouraged it. We gave her coloring sets, and she would make them and hand them out to people, teachers at school, other kids in her class.
People in our families. So she loved her artwork and animals. She was the animal lover extraordinaire. She wanted to be a vet. She wanted to work with animals. She said either vet or animal trainer.
Really?
She didn't care if it was both. She was so full of ambition.
What were some of the things that Audrey loved to do, loved to be?
Animals. Any animal in this neighborhood knew Audrey, and Audrey knew them. She loved all of her pets. They're all rescues, and she treated them like they were completely loved and groomed them. And she just, anything to do with animals and art, that's all.
And she quite often throughout the neighborhood, she would help other neighbors with their animals, take them for walks, stop and pet them on her way to school or way home. We could even hear her going to school because the dogs would bark, and she would go over and say hi to them. And that's just who she was. That's why the neighborhood just turned out, they all knew her, even more than we understood. All the neighbors knew her because she would stop and say hi to them, talk to them. One of the neighbors gave her a bicycle so she could ride it to the bus stop. Another neighbor let her park her bicycle in front of their house to get on the bus. Her dog would jump over the fence and follow her to the bus stop. And then he would come right back and lay down outside their kennel. And then
time for school is like the dog had a time clock in it. She'd walk over and walk her part way home. She had that kind of bond with her animals.
Yeah.
And you said she liked to spend a lot of time in the backyard?
This was her playground. She'd run and play with her brother, let the dogs out and play with them, play with the cats. We started to garden, her and I, and we're supposed to do that before she went missing. And I had made a promise, so I'm keeping my promise. But that was our peace. We want to break away from everything. We want to just have a peaceful time, and so that's what we did. If she wasn't out here playing, we were out playing in the dirt, attempting I use the word attempting to grow things. She was so proud that we had radishes and jalapenos We just thought we had grown like the bumper crop. But she was, any little thing was big to her.
And she did odd jobs for me, cleaned my shop, helped with the recycling, so she could earn a little money. And the next thing we know, we're at church, and she puts that money in the collection at church. Not for herself. It was always for others.
You wanted to do this interview today. Why?
I want Audrey's story out. I want people to understand there's so much disinformation. You know, there's too many things that people don't know. So many people are focused on the monster.
And he's not the story. He is not the story. He will be when he goes to court. But right now it's about the families. It's about Audrey. The reason why she captivated East Texas when the Amber Alert went out is because of who she was, who she became as a young lady. She was only 11, but she had a personality that was much older, much bigger.
And you say the story's not about the monster. Do you feel like the narrative has been like that?
A lot of people have made it more about the monster, more about how did a monster like that get here? You know, they like blaming everybody. And the fact of the matter is they're not blaming the right people. There is blame to be placed, yes.
Did she just say that people were not blaming the right people?
Yep.
Whose fault is it that he was there? It's these two right here. Like,
Yeah.
who else is there? I mean, yes, it's his fault too for what he did in the past and what he done to her. So it is his fault as well. But there wouldn't have been a monster if it wouldn't have been for these two. Like,
No,
they
I
allowed
think
him.
they're trying to blame the system.
And I can see that because, yes, it is also the system. They should have never allowed him to plead to a lesser charge so he did not have to register. But these two own the property. This is their house. She had the custody of Audrey. They allowed this man and this other guy on their property to live around their granddaughter. So who is where are they getting? They're the blame.
That's what I think.
Oh, these people. Okay, let me get back to it, y'all.
And if they want that story, yeah, that's about the monster. With a little girl who trusted and loved without condition, that needs a good story. It's not about him. What he did was awful. And I will always have to live with that. But I didn't see that monster. There wasn't any way to get all that information. You know, put blame where
Bullshit. There was. How did we all get that information?
Just looked it up.
How did we get that information? Seriously.
Wasn't hard.
We literally looked the dude's name up. Everybody on social media, whether YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all they did was look the dude's name up.
Right. And Tiff said the same thing I said earlier. They had these people around her, but they kept her from her mother.
Yeah, exactly.
She said,
Hold on, I seen another.
she didn't say white people, guys.
No, I haven't heard her say.
I think she said right people. We
Yeah,
do
I've
have
heard
this
her say-
it up, remember?
Yeah, it is on 1.5 the speed.
I would laugh, but I would cough.
So yeah, I haven't heard her say anything about white people.
No.
But this woman, y'all. And did y'all just see her try to squeeze a tear out of her eye and it didn't come out? She literally,
I
when she was
know.
getting upset and he grabs
Yeah.
her hand, she squints her eyes and she can't. Bitch, please. It's your fault. You need to take responsibility for the fact that you let this man on your property around your 11-year-old daughter, and now she has been murdered by this man.
And he's not the only one. That's the thing. He's not the only one.
No, there was another one. But she doesn't want to take the blame and the responsibility. But then she says, well, I'll have to live with that, but who else is there to blame other than these two and the man who done it, and her dad? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I
this
was gonna
woman,
say, and
y'all.
her father. Yeah.
I don't even know this woman, and I don't like her, y'all. All I'm hearing is bullshit excuses coming out of this woman's mouth.
And neither one of them ever shed a tear, not one single tear.
No, she tried. She tried to squeeze it out, but
She did.
you have to give her an A for effort, I guess, because she tried, but it just didn't come out.
I mean, if they start this, if they get a law passed, Audrey's law, and it makes things like this be put on a list where it's easier to find out, I'm all for that. But don't be sitting there saying you couldn't find out anything, because that's bull. All they had
Right.
to do was look at his record.
Right. That's all they had to do. Look his name up, do a simple Google search, and it would have brought his name up with what he did in the past. Just like,
Right.
I mean, you can't tell me that you could not find that information. If everybody else on social media was able to find it, but you were the one person who wasn't. And I think that the only reason why they are pushing for this Audrey's Law is so it will help them get out of the responsibility of what happened to her.
And I don't know, maybe they're thinking about I don't know, maybe they're in it for some money too. I don't know. But yes, ugly chuckling. There was another RSO and registered.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was
on the
he was
list.
registered. Yeah. So what is the excuse for that guy? I mean,
I don't think they checked. I don't think they checked personally.
I don't think I don't either. I don't think they, because it just seems like okay, old dude wasn't on the registered list, so we didn't look into him any further than that. He wasn't on the list, so he was okay, even though we know he was a former inmate. No, you just didn't
I
look on the
seriously
list.
doubt
And now
they
you're
even.
no, they
I
didn't.
seriously doubt they even looked on that, let alone even just Googled the guy.
I don't think they looked on the list at all. They're just saying that to try to cover their ass. That's all they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to it now.
Because could
But
you
that-
imagine what
with him,
happened
with
if
a
they
flawed
admitted
legal
they
system
didn't
that
look?
allowed.
Wait, say that again.
I said, could you imagine what all hell would rain down on their head if they admitted they didn't even look on the SO list?
Yeah, but I don't think they would ever admit that.
No, I don't think they would either.
But I mean, even them saying the neighbors knew her more than we understood. That
Mhm.
tells me that you didn't watch her when she was walking around in the neighborhood. Because if you would have been watching her and paying attention to where she was going and the people that she was around, then you would have known how well the neighbors knew her.
Exactly.
These people make me sick, and they should not be in the presence of kids. Okay.
For all these things to happen, I mean, to not have that ability. You know, there is a lot of love that's been shown, but the people that are hateful, you don't understand. You have no idea how much I blame myself, how much I blame. I have enough guilt and hate for myself because of it. But I used the tool that was given, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
We saw the good side of him. I mean, he showed us what he wanted us to see. He was formerly incarcerated, but we had no idea. We checked his sex offender registry, and he did not show up on it. We had friends that knew him years and years ago that said he was a good guy that just got caught up in bad things, and he admitted to many of the things that he had done, but none of them were anywhere near what happened.
He played us all. He showed us a side that wanted to get clean, and that everything he had done was attributed to drugs, and it wasn't. But because he was so convincing and forthcoming with what he said, and that he wanted to get off the drugs, and he wanted a new life, I mistakenly and stupidly believed that. But before all that, because my granddaughter and my daughter and everybody in this house was important to me, I checked that sex offender registry. I checked that sex offender registry because I thought I was protecting her. And it didn't show up because somebody allowed him to plead down and not have to register. And that one thing could have saved my grandmother, because he never would have been here. Never.
But because we accepted him for who he was and tried to help him get a second start. I mean, that's what our faith believes, is you forgive, He had served his time. Nobody was giving him help. Nobody was. He was homeless. And so we said, we have a camper out back. You could stay in that. And he was getting odd jobs. He had a girlfriend. He was starting to get his life together. We don't understand what happened. We don't want to understand what triggered what happened. Audrey loved him, treated him like part of the family. We just don't understand.
Sign. I go through every day. Was there a sign of anything? Every day I wonder if I missed something, but I don't know. I never saw any indication that she was being harmed. If she was, you would have seen those signs, and I never saw them.
Do you feel that you were aware of his history and you were going to give him a second chance, like a lot of people were passing over on him, and you went a step further and you checked that registry? Did you feel that gave you peace of mind and that you did your due diligence before letting somebody stay here?
I did.
That was our largest concern, because I think people have come to depend on the registry you look on it, and unfortunately that is part of our society. And some of it is earned. Some of them are truly needed to be on the registry. Some of them were they got caught up in the moment and they wound up on the registry. So there is gray areas in the registry, but then there's a big dark hole where people who committed a sexual assault wound up plea bargaining down to a misdemeanor, and because it's only a misdemeanor, they didn't have to register. That's the hole that we want to work on closing. Crime Stoppers of Houston have offered to help us go to the Texas State Legislature and promote a bill, which we're going to call Audrey's Law, to help close that loophole. If they started out with a sexual assault and they plea bargain it down, they still should register, so people know that that person has that history. And then you can make up your decision and base your actions on that. We just didn't have the tools. And to do background checks on everybody, they're extremely expensive.
So going through all of this, you want to help other families so they never have to be in this situation again?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're
planning
planning on
to feel this pain. So many people don't understand how much it hurts.
And
it's something I have to live with for the rest of my life.
And when we look at the Amber Alert system, it is being used more and more and more. And I don't know if that indicates change in society, but it indicates that there is problems out there in society. And we would like to help be part of the solution, not for our personal gain, but for the memory of Audrey. She was a wonderful child and became a victim of senseless violence. And there's far too many kids that are in that same situation that we would like to somehow help them.
We know there's other families doing exactly the same thing somewhere. And I don't want them to have to go through this. There's other families that are giving in nature. How do they know? I don't want to see this happen again. Not to anyone at all, ever.
And you said you feel some of the blame, but the blame isn't solely on this family?
No.
I don't feel like it is. I felt like I was doing the Christian thing. I felt like I checked a registry that failed me. It didn't just fail me, it failed previous victims. If we don't have the tools necessary, how are we supposed to make decisions?
Good decisions.
Good ones. I thought I did.
But there's another side to the story too, and that's the side where the community, the city of Livingston, Polk County, all of East Texas came together. And that's a story that needs to go out too, is that just the people who turned out to help search for Audrey initially wanted to bring her home alive. That was incredible in itself. And then after her body was found, all the people who helped in that search, all the law enforcement that was out there from all over the country, the FBI, the sheriffs, Texas Rangers, sheriff rescue teams from far away as Harris County came to help search for her. And ultimately they found her body. But we want to thank them. But even more so, we want to thank all the people who showed their love and concern. The hate to me, is far outweighed by the love. This is the way a community should come together. All the law enforcement work together.
And they showed that they were concerned and they were hurt. They cried with me.
They prayed with us.
They've done more than just being law enforcement. They showed that they take their oaths very seriously to protect and serve. And they don't just serve a purpose for protection. They serve the purpose of the community. They've done nothing but been there for it. And I greatly appreciate them. They've shown a human side that nobody gets to see usually. they're also wound up in their traffic ticket or whatever they've done wrong, that they forget at the end of the day, these people go home to their families. And then something like this, they've got to take home with them.
And a lot of them told us they have a daughter or son Audrey's age, and that it pains them to, to think that a child has been abused like that.
Why the color purple?
Well, the story is interesting because as a painter, and she was even learning to tattoo, she loved all colors. But because Grandma loved purple, she kept telling me, purple's my favorite color too. And it's her father's favorite color. So it became a symbol of who she was.
The unity of our family. It was a common ground to stand on.
You talk about her dad, y'all's son. He's not here today. It's still a little bit too hard for him, right? I mean, how is he doing through all of this?
It's devastating. You lose your oldest child to something like this. Losing your child in the first place it's awful. And it tears him up. His son is constantly looking for his big sister. Nobody stops to think about the trauma people are causing him, causing my son, causing my grandson. Everybody wants to point the finger at him. And this was nothing he did. I was the one that made the decision to let him move into that camper. I was the one that thought I was doing the right thing. And you'd think my son would blame me for it, but he doesn't. He knows it. He knows he's the monster. He knows who the monster is.
Yeah, and he lives with us. He's struggling. He works on tugboats down in Houston. But it was a joint effort to raise Audrey between Joshua, Tabby, and his sister, Julie. The three of them worked together, and the result is what everybody sees. She was just so happy. She was learning so much. She was looking forward to her life.
She was excited but scared. She was going to start junior high. She'll never get that chance.
Did it surprise you at all that Audrey captivated the country like she did?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, she was a little girl. She had her faults. She stood in the corner, but she took her punishment, but she learned from it. But above that, she would bounce back and show her love even more. And between helping around the family and helping, like VFW, a friend of hers worked there, serving food at the VFW. She constantly asked, could she go and help volunteer? She couldn't work, but she could volunteer, and she'd go dance with the older veterans and their wives. And she was learning to two-step and four-step and square dance and line dance. And, they were just amazed by it. I guess that was an indication, but it went far beyond that. We couldn't imagine how much her story would catch on. And I mean, I don't think she's individual in this. I think that story happens in many neighborhoods with many children, but it happened to her, and that we've just lost a valuable citizen of Polk County.
What is one of your favorite memories with Audrey?
Oh, there's so many. I think my favorite is that she was always there. I would come home from work and she'd be like, Grandma, do your feet hurt? Like just random things that normal kids wouldn't see. And she just helped me, Grandma, your feet hurt? Well, let me massage your feet. And I know that sounds petty, and I know that sounds disgusting to people, but that's who she was. She didn't care. She wanted to help. But I think my favorite memory, honestly, though, was when she was younger. She had dropped a piece of banana on the floor, and the shoes I was wearing didn't have any kind of traction. And I fell down the stairs from it. And years later, she'd be like, don't trip on a banana. She just had that sense of humor. She took something that was an accident and ended up with, a minor injury and just made it into a joke because she was just that kid. She could take the worst of something and make you smile.
And my favorite memory was how she loved the people around her. Her aunt, our daughter Julie, went to Japan for a year as an exchange student in high school about 5 years ago. And when we went to the airport to pick her up, forget about the barriers and you're not supposed to go across this line. When she saw her Auntie Julie walking down the pathway to us, covered in her luggage, and she busted down the barricade, went running up and jumped into her arms and would not let go. I mean, that's how much she loved her aunt and missed her. That was pure Audrey.
And has it settled in that she's no longer here? Is it still?
I keep waiting for her to come through the door. I keep hoping it's a miss, that somebody didn't identify her right or anything. It's a hope, but I know I can't get it back. But I still wake up in the mornings, I wake up hoping this is a bad dream and she's going to come run to me and hug me. But I know it can't happen. And I miss her so much.
If you could talk to her one more time, what would you say to her?
If I could talk to her one more time, I'd never let go. I'd tell her how much I love her, how much the family loves her, and how sorry I am that I wasn't able to protect her. That I couldn't see that the devil was let into our house. And I beg for her forgiveness.
I would tell her to watch over us, watch over this family. I mean, I truly believe she's up there looking down on us. And you can see her grandma needs her support. And the whole world needs her love. And if she can continue to be that symbol of love, that's what I would like for her to do is keep that going.
I want her to know I never give up. I'm never going to give up until nobody has to go through this again. Until we can get that law changed for her. And I wish it was there ahead of time. But to my dying breath, I will see this through. Because I couldn't protect her. But I'll be darned if I don't protect somebody else's child.
The country knows Audrey Cunningham's name. Do you want her name to stand for more than just this terrible situation and stand for change, stand for a law?
Yeah, I mean, we're going forward to honor the name of Audrey Cunningham. We're going to start a foundation and nonprofit. Everything will go to helping to promote Audrey's law and to help organizations that help children that have suffered through senseless violence. And there's a lot of organizations out there. Crime Stoppers have been working closely with them for many years. And if we can lend Audrey's name to that cause, that honors her life and what happened. And that's mainly what we want to do going forward, is to honor Audrey Cunningham, our little angel.
That's what she'd want. I know she loves seeing all the love that's being dispersed, but the problem is there's so many people that are also spreading hate. They don't realize my granddaughter, if she was here and heard these things and saw those type of things, that it would destroy her. So rather than holding her up, they'd rather destroy somebody, especially that little girl. I want her memory to be of the love she was, of the love she still is, and not diminish who she was as a person.
And as this all progresses and moves forward, this criminal case will also progress. Have you, since this all started, have you had the opportunity to talk to McDougal one bit at all since she went missing?
I spoke with him while she was missing. In hopes he would tell us where she was or what happened or anything. And that's something also I have to live with. That man had the gall to tell us absolute lies to my face. And then hug me and call me mama. Because that's who he called me all the time. That's what I was to him, was a mom figure. And for him to lie to my face and then hug me and tell me, I love you, mama, I'd never do anything to hurt her. It angers me to no end. So many things go through my mind about what I could have done at that point. But I didn't, because I want justice. I just wanted her home. I wanted her safe.
He lied to you?
Lied to our faces, put the blame somewhere else. Which you could see was an absolute lie. He was in jail when he's stating he was going to do that. So,
And that will come out in the trial. We don't want to dwell on that right now. He'll have his moment in court, and we will be there. I know Tabby will be there every single day of the trial to look him in the eye. And I know it won't erase what happened, but he will know what he has done and how it has affected us.
and he's going to know every day that I'm there, no matter how difficult it's going to be. I want him to see that I never gave up and I'm not giving up on her. And he will look at this face every day to remember how much pain he caused. And he's going to have to look at this face to know the last thing you said to me was an outright lie. And I'm not going to walk away and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to seek justice.
Justice for Audrey.
I think the world wants to hear this, the answer to this question. if you could talk to him right now, right in front of you, what would you say to him?
There's nothing I could say that you could put on camera, because I'm not a hateful person in general, but I feel nothing but outright hate and disdain for him. And there's not a word that would come out of my mouth that you could put on this camera, because ain't nothing I say going to be anything but hate filled.
Yeah. My parents taught me something very valuable a long time ago. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I have nothing to say to him. Nothing.
He's not worth the air it would take. To me, in all honesty, between all of us, I tell him he's a waste of skin and oxygen, that he doesn't deserve the life that he breathes daily.
Is there anything else that I didn't ask that y'all wanted to talk about or mention?
I just want to make sure that everyone who is involved in the search for Audrey is recognized, from the general public, those who didn't even know her, but offered their well wishes, to the first responders, the fire departments, the sheriffs, all the law enforcement that helped bring Audrey home.
Even the media putting out there that they needed footage to find out where he had been. I want to thank them, all of y'all.
Yeah, we were asked initially not to speak to this press because of the ongoing search and the ongoing investigation, and we respected that. And now that that has concluded, that's why we're out here to tell our side of the story, and to thank everybody for helping us through this tough period of time.
I also want to thank you and Miss Brizzy for always being respectful and understanding that we're people and we had emotions and we had things to get through. And no, we're not through them yet. But the respect from you and Miss Brizzy is why I'm open to you guys. Because there was no disrespect. There was nothing but well wishes. And I appreciate that greatly. Greatly.
It means a lot to us that you trust us. It really does. That is a heavy word. So thank you. And thank you for the time. I know it's not easy, but it's an honor to share Audrey's story, y'all's words with the world. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Y'all, I don't like them people. Make me sick. Her favorite memory is of Audrey rubbing her feet. Like, she couldn't even come up with a decent favorite memory of this little girl.
Nope.
And then she's claiming Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and they want to be treated how Audrey, Lord.
No, and she's gonna sit there and say that she's gonna be at that trial every single day and she's not gonna give up. Well, I'm sorry, but you gave up on that little girl when you allowed that man to come stay on your property, and the other guy too, who was an RSO. So I don't even want to
And
hear
God
it.
only knows what other ones are on their property.
Yeah, there's no telling how many people they've allowed to stay there. And like I said, her husband looks like a pure idiot. Okay, because he's off working for days, weeks, maybe a month at a time, and his wife is laid up at the house with other men living on their property. Ex-cons at that. So he looks like a pure idiot. And Tonka, that is true. Tonka said what's so sad is that crimes against children are getting worse every day. It is.
It is.
And she's not wanting to take responsibility of, oh, we looked on the registry list and he wasn't on there.
I don't believe that.
It's just, but the thing is, even if they did, okay, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. And she looked on it and he wasn't on there, but you knew that he was an ex-con. Okay, you trusted this man enough for him to say, oh, it was just everything I did was drug related. Why didn't you look into it to see if there was something else that he had been accused of or had been arrested for that was something other than drug related? You didn't even do that. You just you stopped at the registry and you were good with that. And now look what happened to this little girl. It's their fault and they are not wanting to take responsibility for it.
No. And they took him on trips. I mean, the girl didn't even get, she didn't even get a break when they went on trips from this guy.
No, there was a picture of him, the grandma, Audrey, and there was somebody else was in the car with them. There was only the four of them in there on the trip to Florida. Okay, once again, the husband looks like a pure fucking idiot.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so it's just I don't like these people, y'all. I'm sorry, I don't know them, but I don't like them. I don't like to hear the excuses that they're coming up with, and then wanting to push Audrey's Law. Yes, Audrey's Law would be a good thing. Okay. But at the same time, it's still your responsibility to check out who comes on your property. And I don't want to hear that bullshit of, well, to do a background check on everybody would be expensive. How did everybody on social media find out about this dude as soon as his name hit? Like
Well, even if you pay for that Truth Finder thing, it's only like $20 a month. If you're going to have these people on your property, you should have a running account.
So you can't even pay a monthly fee to look people up that you're allowing, like your granddaughter and other kids on your property is not worth that $20 or whatever that fee is a month.
Because here's the thing of it. If they've got other people or have had other people on their property and they were incarcerated, there are terrible, terrible things that they could have done that you don't want your child around. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so he blamed all of his on drugs. Well, isn't that the whole reason why they didn't want her around her mom?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Where's the logic?
Yeah. And none of it makes sense. Hey, millennials, how are you? I don't know. That's just people who don't care. They're more worried about looking good to other people. Oh, we're helping these ex-cons, we're helping them get on their feet or giving them a place to stay, blah, blah, blah. That's all they're worried about is how they look to other people instead of taking actual responsibility and protecting the kids that are on their property, their grandkids and all this and that. I mean, and somebody did say in chat she looked like Eileen Wuornos.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to figure out who on earth she reminded me of ever since I saw it this morning.
She really does look like her.
She really does.
And I don't think Eileen had any kids, or she might have had some younger sisters. I don't know, but there's a lot of... What, Eileen Wuornos in Texas too?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. She may be kin to her. She does look a lot like her. I don't know. She's just... I can see now that they're more of making excuses. The guy that was there talking, he had no emotions.
She tried, but she didn't either.
Yeah, she she tried to squeeze some tears out, but and then she was learning to tattoo and he laughed about it.
Yeah, did they not see where she was tattooing that gross frog?
That's what I'm wondering. Have you saw the video? Which surely they've seen it by now. I mean, it's all over the internet.
I wonder if one of them took the video.
Oh my God. If they don't charge these people with something,
they should be charged with neglect.
At the least, honestly. And them saying, well, he had all these people who come out and said that he was a good guy. Well, where are all these people at?
Well, why didn't they help him?
Yeah.
He was homeless. Nobody would help him. Why wouldn't they help him?
Why are these people coming out saying, oh, I can't believe he did this. He was such a good guy. Why wasn't her dad sitting there with that interview?
He's a coward. I agree with King Scarlet.
Yes. I mean, it's his daughter. If you want your daughter's story to be out there and what happened to her, and you want justice for her, and you're going to do, you sit through the interview and you get your child's name out there and you get her story out there.
No matter how bad it hurts.
Right. But to me, that just screams, I fucked up and I know that I did. And it, I'm partially to blame for my child being where she's at now.
Yeah.
Don't get it. And I can't believe. I have a huge issue, like I said before, with the tattooing thing. Just for multiple reasons. But
That was just disgusting. And they weren't teaching her how to do it in a safe manner either.
right. It's a very dangerous thing. He could have had some type of disease. She could have accidentally hit herself with that gun while she was tattooing him and caught whatever disease he had. But the dude laughed about it. Oh, she was learning to tattoo. Like, it's an okay thing. Lieberman, that's a good question. Lieber said, you heard them say that she rides her bike to the bus stop. Neighbors let her park her bike. Why didn't she that day? Good question. I mean, hell, as soon as they said, well, the neighbors knew her better than we understood, that let me know that they didn't pay that much attention to her.
Yep, not enough. I'm sorry, guys. Gone are the days that you can let your kids run around in the neighborhood and play.
Yeah, it's not safe at all. KK, that is true. At 11, there is no safe manner to do tattoos. It's not. They don't have a steady hand. It's what an adult, even one that's starting out tattooing in an apprenticeship or that's been working in a shop for years, an 11-year-old just does not have the steady hand. He could have jumped. The sensitive areas can cause your nerve. You can hit a nerve that can cause the person to jump. That can cause the machine to hit her.
Well, when people are first, okay, I don't know a lot about tattooing, but I do know I do know about this part.
Mhm.
Before they're ever even allowed to touch a person, they have silicone that they
silicone
practice
skin.
on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's hours. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to do it for a day or a week or so. It's like hours and hours and hours that they tattoo on something
Right.
like that before they're even allowed into even an apprenticeship.
Oh, KK's going to start training next week for tats.
Tattoos are just so cool. It's just there's too many dangers with it.
There is, and it's like Libra said, you can't even go into a tattoo parlor unless you're 18.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, I have tattoos, but I would never let someone tattoo me who was not in a shop. Like, I need to make sure that everything that you're opening is fresh, straight out the package. Everything else has been sterilized. The seat that I'm about to sit in is completely clean. Your workstation is clean. Like, it is. There's a lot that goes into being an artist. And this little girl at 11 years old did not have the mental capacity to make sure that what she was doing was clean and safe.
Well,
And then
obviously they didn't teach her enough because the way she was handling the gun
and y'all
cleaning.
said she did, and y'all said she didn't even have gloves on.
No, and she was wiping it on her pants and stuff.
Oh my God! And anybody who's had a tattoo or even been with someone who's got one, there is red bodily fluids that comes out when you're getting a tattoo. It's just, these people make me sick. And just the smirk on that dude's face when he said that she was learning how to do it. Ridiculous. I don't know. Hopefully that's the last interview that we have to see them people do. And LC, that is true. Felons don't care about cleanliness. But to let an 11-year-old child in the area that she was tattooing this guy.
Well, shoot, I ain't worried about him. She could have knocked it off as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, she could have very easily gotten
Yeah.
a disease or anything.
And I've only seen that one time, but tell me if I'm wrong. Weren't there quite a few people in that room when she was doing it?
I haven't seen the
It
video.
seems like
I'm just what y'all told me is
you
all I
need to pull
know.
it up.
But I think somebody did say that it was him and her, that she was doing the tattoo on him. Whoever it was that was filming it, and
Seemed like there was a couple more people in there.
and it wouldn't surprise me if it was her grandmother.
It wasn't me either.
God. I hope though that is brought up at the trial, because you know that if people on social media can get that video, then the police have it.
Yep.
And Lieberman, she says he has a girlfriend. Where's the girlfriend at? Like, yeah, that's the first time I've heard of him having a girlfriend. Hey, Summer, how are you? I don't know. These just, I can't wait till the suit goes to trial. I'm gonna be honest. I hope they come out, and I hope they say that they're gonna, with their intent to seek the death penalty and all that on him. And honestly, I don't know what they're waiting for to come out with that notice, but they need to hurry and come out with it. All right, let me see if there's anything else that I have for tonight. I don't think it is. And for everybody who is in my Discord, I did make a channel under case discussions for Madeline Soto's case. So if anybody gets any new information and y'all want to drop it in there, just y'all can. I'm trying to think. It seems like there was something else.
KK loves your background, so do I.
Oh, thank you. I still got to find some more. I found one that had like different colors in it, but it can only be a minute long video, and it was like 2 or 3
I hate
minutes.
it when I see the loop.
This one, I don't think you can see it, but I do notice it like when the ink drops down on the right side right there, like you know that it's done looped at that point. But some of them will loop and it like cuts it for a second. Like right there was where it
I
drops
see
in,
it.
but you can't actually see where it cuts and reloops.
No, it's more like a lava lamp type of effect.
Okay, and I just made a Sebastian Rogers channel in there as well if anybody finds any more information on that case.
Are you going to keep one on Mahogany? I mean, I know they know who did it, but
I can, yeah, hold on, I'll put one in there for her too, because that would be another good one. Summer, yeah, I'm starting to feel better. Let's see. Jackson was her last name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went ahead and made one for her too.
Have you heard? I haven't heard anything. Maybe I just have missed it. But Major John.
Wait, hold on. Where did my book go? Because his trial was supposed to start on the 4th of this month.
Right.
But I think because he has pled guilty to everything, he's not going to have a trial now. But hold on, I've seen something. Where did it go? Okay, so no, he's not going to have a trial, but his sentencing will be March the 25th. So, because he pled guilty to, instead of the 4 first-degree charges, he pled guilty to second degree. and because he pled guilty, they dropped the burglary charge on him, so he just now has the 4 second-degree charges. And so since he pled guilty, there was no point in having a trial. Are you taking your temperature?
What?
Were you taking your temperature?
No, I had my hand
Oh.
under a light.
Oh, that sounds just like a thermometer that I have. Like one of those that
Wait
you stick
till-
to your forehead.
Yeah. No, wait till I get done with these nails. You guys aren't going to believe them when I post it.
KK, I thought it was a thermometer, but it
No,
literally
it's my
sounds
UV
just like-
lamp.
Oh.
I've been working on them for like 6 days and I've only got 5 done. That's how horrible I feel. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my
but
God.
this sickness, if you had the same, which it does sound like you had the same thing I had, it like hit all of a sudden and it knocked you down and it was very hard to get back up.
I mean, honestly, if I could lay in bed, I'd be in bed, but I can't with my fibro and Lyme and being my age. I can't lay there for that long anymore.
I wanted to at one point because I have a sectional couch, and you know some of the sectionals they're like in the middle, they curve instead of the actual like corner in the middle. Well, mine has the corner, and it's so you can lay in that corner the 2 different ways and like throw your feet up on the couch and all this nuts. I wanted so bad to get up out of my bed and go get on the couch because, like I said, I couldn't lay flat and I couldn't sit up like very far up. So I think I stole like 2 of Troll's pillows to like prop myself up kind of in between, and it was so uncomfortable. And
Yeah,
that's the only way I
I
could
do that.
lay.
I can't. Yeah, I can't do that and then your underwear start creeping up in your butt because the pressure of trying to stay halfway up.
Well,
I'm like, forget this.
when I lay down flat, it was like I would start coughing so bad. You know, when you start coughing, you like have to hurry up and sit up or whatever. I couldn't get up in time and I would completely lose my breath.
That's how I've been doing.
When I was sitting up and started coughing, like I said, my chest was hurting me and my ribs were hurting. I even told the doctor when I went to the emergency room, I was like, dude, my chest hurts really bad.
Oh,
And when he was listening to my lungs, he was like, I need you to cough. I was like, I can't cough. Like, to make myself cough, you don't understand how bad it hurts. And then he's going to stick that damn thing down the back of my throat, looking at my throat. I was like, don't touch the back of my tongue.
I'm going to be throwing up on you.
I warned him, and he very close. He almost made me puke on him.
My aunt ordered me this stuff my mom and her used to take. It was supposed to get here today. I was waiting on that to see if
I don't think there's anything though really that you can take that will help it, because they gave me. So the nurse came in the night of when I was at the emergency room and with the inhaler and said, I'm going to pretend like I forgot it in here because there's no point in throwing it away after you're supposed to do 2 inhales or whatever. She said, there's no point. It has 200 on it. What is the point of throwing it away after just 2? So she was like, I'm just, I'm going to pretend like I forgot it. I'm just going to leave it sitting over here on the chair. So I got that one, and I got a prescription for one, and it's not working. It's not like I can't get this stuff up out of my chest.
I have one. I have one of those mister things. You put your face in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it's actual got like a cup for your whole face on. And it doesn't move anything.
Yeah. If this one here's not working, so I'm gonna have to end up going to the primary and getting more antibiotics, and I don't know if you can give me a different inhaler or a stronger one or something, because this one here is not working.
Oh, no, I would not let this beep over and over and drive you all crazy. I promise.
No, I thought that's what it was though, because I have one that you stick to your forehead, and it beeps when it's like a few seconds or whatever, and that's what mine sounds like. So, but I will be back tomorrow night. Um, since I am feeling better.
You sound better.
Yeah, if I can just get rid of which it's I've got it pretty cold in my room right now, so that's why I'm not coughing. But I know once I start getting up and moving around, I'm gonna start coughing again.
Or you gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, because I'll have to lay down and I'll start
Once I
coughing.
get in bed, it's still like 2 or 3 hours before I can even go to sleep.
Well, when I was sick, I would try to like I was, okay, I'm really tired. I'm sick. I don't feel good. I wanted to like go to sleep early, and y'all, it was like I was still on my live night times. I couldn't go to sleep until like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, I'm the same way.
So I guess I need to get out of here. Lay on your side. And now, King Scarlet, I did do that, but because my chest and ribs were hurting me so bad, I couldn't stay on my side very long. Like y'all don't know the pain of
I do.
Of the chest.
Just the weight of your chest on your chest on your chest.
Yeah,
meaning.
That's what I even told the doctor that night. I was like, my chest, and that's the reason why my husband was like, you need to go to the hospital because it sounds like you have pneumonia. And my chest was like just this it felt like I was laying on my back and had 20-pound weights on my chest.
Exactly.
That's how heavy it was. And I told the doctor that, and he got to listen. He was like, yeah, I can hear it all rattling in there. If you wouldn't have came when you did, it would have gotten worse and turned into full-blown pneumonia. And it's not as heavy as it was. And I've tried to lay on my side, but just the pain it's bad. It's starting to get better now, but
I'm glad you're feeling better.
On top of the pollen, like Louisiana's had their fake spring now, where it like gets warm for a couple of days and it makes all of us people think that, it's all warm weather. And then bam, we get hit with like 30-degree weather again.
It's been doing that here too.
So the pollen is horrible. I had to take my daughter's dog out yesterday and he walked by it was a pine tree that had low limbs on it. And he just kind of like brushed up against the limb and it was like a big yellow cloud of pollen. So I have to try to stay away from that too. Oh, good Lord, the ugly chuckling. So I guess I need to get out of here for the night.
Well, I will let you go. Good night, everybody. I love y'all.
All right, we love you too. And I hope you continue to feel better. And thank you for coming up.
You too. Thank you, Scarlett.
You're welcome.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. April said, hey. All right, KK, tell him I said hi. The weather needs medic. It's summer, girl. You ain't joking. I'm telling you, the weather's bipolar here. It's 57 now. It was 80-something today. We had storms. Like, I think tomorrow night or Sunday night, it's just like 30-something. Like, Mother Nature needs to get her stuff together. Michelle, have a good night and thank you. Let's see. If I have to message you, like, where are you? It's bad. I know. And I do apologize to everyone that I did not make a community post about what was going on. I just honestly, I was completely wiped out. For real. I hadn't been on my computer. Like, tonight's the first time I've been on my computer. I got on Discord the night that they found Madeline Soto, which was March the 1st. That was the last time I was on my Discord until today. I was just completely tired and sick. And I pray that nobody gets this stuff because it's horrible. Thank you, KK. It's ridiculous. But I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to try to eat something. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I will be back tomorrow night. And sweet Melissa, thank you. I missed all of y'all too. I really did. And it's one thing to get, kind of like hang out with y'all on Discord or, Facebook group or something like that. But when you're when you're to the point that you can't even go hang out in Discord and just type, you start missing everybody. Thank you, Tonka. All right, I'm getting out of here for tonight. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. I love you all. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to get some more information on Madeline and Sebastian's cases. So I will talk to y'all then. So y'all all have a good night and keep everybody who is sick in your prayers.